That's interesting. Yeah, and I'm a work. I going out late. I don't want to hear that though. What's up, man? I'm about to get it popping, man. I know everybody watching football, and I was just at a little spot watching some football, but that ain't me though. I just was at Buffalo Wild Wings eating with my daughters. You know what I'm saying? Trying to tap into the game. Happy to see the Raiders done their thing. I think I'm going to watch just to watch the Raiders this year just for the fun of it. But that ain't me. We're going to see if some people roll through, and if not, I'm still going to do what I do. What's up, everything is everything. I see you. Yeah, but I don't know. Last stream I was doing, I was covering a few topics about, Black Egyptians, but I ain't about to talk about that now. I think we did enough work to put at least until these recent videos get responses. I think we've done enough work. Hey, peace. Peace. I see you. I think we've done enough work in preliminary, to let them know that we really do this. I left off at showing books, huh? See? When I show you some tech, it might be dirty because they get used. I apologize. But this is a good one right here. Somebody know what that say right there? I think that's Herakti. Y'all know who that is right there? Somebody know who that is, because a lot of people who mess with what I do be doing the metal data. But this is a book on Abu Simbel. You feel me? A good one. It's not just a picture book. One of the reasons why I like this is because the author, whoever put it together, he wasn't white in Egypt. He was kind of using a lot of, oh yeah, that Shalom hat. Cats think I'm supposed to have on a Hotep hat, huh? Shalom, you gotta understand what shalom means. It means star me out. Let me get in the camera right. Shalom means star. It's hard to get in the camera because I got hella stuff over here. Shalom means star me out. You know what I'm saying? It means peace, or a soup for peace. But yeah, this is my man. This is actually my man's company, clothing company. So it seemed like it got something to do with the conscious community, but really, I'm just helping my man promote his company. You know what I mean? So what it do after 2? I mean, you know what I mean? What is it? It's 3:30 out here. I ain't even bringing back that hyphy energy I just had. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to be overdoing it. Sometimes you catch yourself out there overdoing it. I got hella books on the floor, so that's what I'm dealing with. You know? Y'all don't know about Shalom? This Sunday school, man. Look, I was going to title this, I don't watch football. I'll be studying while y'all watch football. I was going to title it one of those. You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, nah, that might turn some people off or whatever. I don't want to be, because but that's really what it is. I do that with holidays. I do that with sporting events. If everybody about to be focusing on something like this, then, I'll be like, it's time for me to get it in. So let's get it in, man. I always like to start at my book. Not for the good promotional opportunity that it is to start at my own book, but for a few reasons, to show people that if you ain't purchased the book, or if you ain't ready to purchase the book, you can go read a lot of the articles, not everything that's in the book, but you can read a lot of the articles that are in the book right on rapgod.wordpress. You feel me? And so, I know that last stream cut. Oh, you know what happened? Let me tell you what happened, dude. My whole computer crashed. That's made me sick. I'm looking at my computer usage right now. It's not that high, though, but it is higher than it should be. It's at about 47%. But that ain't nothing to make nothing crash, so I was like, man, something going on, man. Every time I get to smoking, You feel me? I'm talking about every time I get the feeling like it's cracking, it's gonna crash or do some silly shit. But I ain't be tripping. I ain't even tripping. We about to get it in. It's Sunday school, right? I know we be talking about the Bible a lot, but why not? I said I would debate Brother Jabari from the Hebrew perspective. I'll convert to Hebrew for a month just to take that debate. But then I would throw so many daggers and darts that rock the community that, you know what I'm saying, why would I do that? And that's no slight to Brother Jabari and all the good, really stuff that he does that's right and exact. He do be having some places where his shrine or whatever and the Amin Ra squad just disagree. You know what I'm saying? But in particular, Magi Archers, see, I know a few things about things that was happening in Nubia that make me question some of the histories, some biblical histories, and also question some ancient Egyptian histories. And even some of the information that we pass around in the community, you know what I'm talking about? And various things like Jews petitioning to rebuild the Temple of Yah down in Nubia. You know what I'm saying? How did that fit into the scheme of things? Hebrews and about, well, I mean, I know how I explain it away. It's because the way that I explain it is the way that I accept it into my body of work. That these brothers that I have found chilling with the Magi, who passed up Kemet and came down to Nubia for protections. See, something about Nubia and protection, man, we gonna keep on beating it up. Forget it. Look, it wasn't the temple of Philae. They wanted to rebuild. Peace, Dave. Peace, I see y'all. They wanted to rebuild a temple to Yah in Nubia. Huh? Well, I never heard nobody talking about that. They gonna talk about it though, because you know why? You can't really find it in the Bible. You gotta be willing to address extra biblical, non-canonical information, and that's some of the stuff that I like to dive into. We find various instances of things, but what we don't really find is nobody who was there before the story was made up. That's what I be tripping off. When I gave him that Mother Goddess homework, God, don't have me go to the Mother Goddess homework, please. It's too overwhelming. How we got the Mother Goddess all in the Bible? I mean, come on. Somebody show me a figurine of a man. Start figuring this out. Show me a figurine of a man. We know figurines are. In the Hebrew Bible, you ain't supposed to have these graven images, so to speak. Show me a figurine of a man predating ancient Egypt. Predating the time when the patriarchy took over the matriarchy. Y'all know about that, right? Y'all should look into the work of Mama Zagbe and her book Mama Wata. And she'll talk a lot about the matriarchy. And I did my research and found out they wasn't lying. Dr. Nana Darkwa, even though he wrote the blacks who wrote the Bible, I ain't against none of that. I ain't tripping. I ain't even in there. I know what he doing over there. But some of the stuff he brought out in some of his other works, specifically about the Ewe or the Iwi people, EWE people of the areas of Ghana, migrating all the way through Egypt up into the Hittite areas, and being known as the who? We do this work, being known as the Keta people. Let's not go in on them Ketas, bruh. But I want to do some homework. I'm gonna share my screen. Let me see. We're going to do a little bit of work. And you know what? To keep it real, I do got a Zoom open if anybody want to tap in on the live build. A Zoom is right. Yeah, I know, but how was I supposed to pronounce that? He spelled it right, though. But, you know, so when I get all of this out of books, I be like, do I say Iwi? It's like Ewoks. That's how I be thinking. See, a lot of that stuff, I don't want to go on the pseudo page, but they be taking a lot of that stuff up out of history, bro. I'll be like, dang, like the Jedis and all that stuff, but I ain't going pseudo right now. All right, I ain't going metaphysical, I should say. You know what I'm saying? I ain't. I'm gonna try to see what they want to do. Let me see if I can share my screen. So yeah, you can always tap in at rapgod.wordpress. Remember, we speaking on the mother goddess for a minute because they ain't really got that homework all the way. I done gave them this too, but please look at my work on this if you're interested in the subject. This is how the mother goddess of ancient times actually entered into the Hebrew Bible. All right. So see, I can flip this work around. If I was to do my fake conversion to Hebrew in order to, you know what I'm saying, in order to just for debate purposes, I would be using this work. Like, look, bruh, everybody who y'all talk to got it wrong. I got it right. And I was sitting here to tell y'all this is how it go. Actually, the pre-Mosaic patriarchs in the Bible wasn't concerned with nothing but what? They didn't know Yahweh. They knew El Shaddai, who was the mother goddess. But I'm not going to bring this here to read it to you. I'm just pointing y'all to it. What I will do for y'all is show y'all some of these ancient figurines so you can see what I mean. These are called Venus figurines. But every time I talk about this, I say there's no Venus at these time periods. Now, excuse me, I'm trying to bring the teaching back. Hold on, man. Let me just get right back into it. Excuse me, because I'm trying to bring the teaching back. Not all the bickering, not all the fussing, not all the fighting. It's cool, we could dramatize things, we could debate, but we do need some decorum. You know what I mean? Decorum, like, you know, we need to be like at least on our squares a little bit without trying to over-sensationalize everything. I do want to bring the real teaching back, the presentations. Who doing the presentations now? Everything is people talking. And when you come to the subject, we gonna have sources on it. Yeah, and they wanted me to get open for a minute, but I didn't feel like it. Look, now what I'm telling y'all here, peace, family members. I see y'all in the chat coming through. Ain't nobody teaching no more. Everybody talking, huh? So what I'm saying here is, feel what I'm saying. These figurines of a woman holding her breast up were the first indication on this earth pretty much that we got that women were venerated in ancient times. You see, I did this research to support a theory some of my brothers who don't do the work, but they are good intuitive brothers, came up with a theory that said the black woman was God. And that blank statement right there could be a shock value statement, but once you start doing the real homework, you start to understand it's even said that way in the Hebrew Bible. You just got to know how to read it. And I've detailed it for all of my peoples and all my opponents, and nobody really gave me no backlash on that. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. These are called Venus figurines. I need to get some more water. I need to request for some water from my daughter. I don't want to scream all loud. Hold on. Hopefully my daughter could come to Pop's aid because I don't want to have to start drinking the cannabis tea already. Should I try it? I might have to hit the cannabis tea. I ain't never tried it. But I'll definitely, let's see what this do. Well, it's like some tea, though. It's like tea. Okay, it's supposed to have 200 milligrams in there, so that's not one person serving. But yeah, that was just to wet the lips as I give you these bombs right here. Because everybody else be faking, bro. Stop tripping when somebody keep it a buck with you. Who don't be blowing in the conscious community? I ain't gonna even go there because we all blew one together, so why would I do that? You feel me? But everybody be faking, though. But anyway, here go A Venus figurine. Just that one little sip was cool, in case you wonder, and I wouldn't do no more of that. Here's a Venus figurine. What is a Venus figurine? Well, I guess it would be attributed to the Roman goddess Venus. But it is incredible because how could this be a Roman goddess Venus when this is dated back to 33,000 BC? This is not my dating, and as you see on the screen, the name of the source that you could clearly pull up the name how this is. Yeah, you probably the only one that don't smoke black. You know how we do. But I was in front of events being myself, because why hide the reality of the situation? I'm really from California. We've been fighting for this since Bob Marley. But that ain't my point. What I'm doing in my life right now is trying to quit, in case y'all don't know. So that's why I got the TACT, because enough is enough with the nonsense that I've dragged on since my youth. And I want to confront that head on. And so that's what I'm doing. You feel me? But let's talk about it. Because this is a woman holding her, again, I want to place emphasis on heavy breast. And I'm only placing emphasis on that because this is the fertility themes that we're going to see run from 33,000 BC all the way up into the Hebrew Bible. Say I'm lying? I ain't lying, bro. Never lying. Look, I'm about to widen this up for you. This old homework, we gave him this homework. So I'm going to just run through this quick. We gave him this homework. Look at I'm not doing the dating on these figurines. Europeans are doing the dating on these figurines. But what do they want you to see? What I want to point out, let me close this and accept. What I want to point out is that you ain't going to find no male figurines dating back to these time periods. And what do they call them again? 3 European Venus figurines from the Ice Age of 25,000 years ago. All right? That's a quote. All right? But what you see, Big Mama with a fro, my grandma go put your clothes on. That's what you see. I'm just keeping it a buck. But I'm placing emphasis on the heavy breast. Why? Because it appears, assume now we're getting down to 23,000 BC. Am I the only one placing emphasis on that, or am I noticing the emphasis that they were placing on that? I appreciate you, Sutek, for saying you got one of them on your table, because you already recognize and understand the culture before the patriarchy took over the matriarchy, what exactly was going on. What is this? Venus of Lausel or whatever. Okay, 20,000 BC, Lausel, all right, whatever. But look, I got the same thing running concurrent all the way from 33,000 BC, and what do we find here? Now this is Nana. Now they're calling her by her name because at this time scripts are about 6,000 BC. We know what's going on. Well, I ain't gonna say 6,000 BC, but because I gotta point y'all to academic sources in order to qualify my words, and no academic source is going to tell you that scripts developed as early as that. They got it all dated to around 3100, really to contextually fit into the Hebrew scenario of when Earth came into existence. But we'll talk about that later. We find Nana. Okay, so, and Nana survives to us right now as grandma or Nana. You feel me? We still talking about Nana to this day as Nana. Okay? Because she was the same mother goddess position to us. But we got Nana at 6,000 BC in Sumatra holding her heavy breast. Okay? Again, am I the one placing emphasis on this? Or was it the people who made these figurines? This wasn't nothing explicit. This was a veneration of fertility. You see what I'm saying? We got her 1,000 years later doing the same thing in Tel Songor. And this is from Tel Songor A, dated to 5,000 BC. We got Nana in Syria, 4,000 BC, doing what? Come on, man, I beat this up. They couldn't even say nothing about it. You feel me? Like, what could you say? How could you oppose this? In Greece, doing what? But then we really got a lug on this one, because they even got literature explaining why, what was going on here, why she looked like a man in the face right here. Wait, no, I'm wrong. I said that wrong. But you'll see why I said that wrong later. Because there's a quote that says, I have heavy breast in Duduni, I have a beard in Babylon, but still I am Nana. But here she is in Judah. So now we're going to see how this enters into the Hebrew. You can't even fight it, because here she go. Doing what still? Am I lying though? How could I possibly be? Like, don't nobody be putting no overwhelming ass presentations together. Like, they be still trying to fool you. I mean, not fool you, but they still got some convincing to do. When the research is this thorough, and I'm just keeping it a buck on the subject of El Shaddai being the mother goddess in the Bible, when this research is so obvious and apparent to anyone. Come on, man. So she was found in Judah 1700 BC, still doing the same thing. But we wouldn't understand it if we didn't understand that the first veneration on this earth was to the matriarchy, was to the matriarchs before the patriarchs. It's just what it is. And so now this is how we can see why they see. Now I'm gonna teach you how to read the Bible, because when they saying stuff, it's gonna make most sense to you. Period. It's like you see the light. Because when Yahweh came to Moses, he had to explain, hey, bro, your fathers didn't know me by this name. That don't make no sense, especially for a supreme being. Why reveal yourself unto some people by a name? You got all the power in the world. Why not reveal your name to thy forefather? Because really it was an amalgamation by the people who came up with this. They was like, we need to say that guy was this guy. I could so prove it. I could even beat up anybody talking about the serpent in the Bible and all that stuff. You don't really understand what's going on. You looking at the Bible from a monotheistic, not even a monolatristic, but a monotheistic standpoint, meaning that nobody on earth think that there was only one God. That's just foolish. Tell me who do. Nobody do, because you all got to acknowledge other people's gods. You have to acknowledge Buddha. You have to acknowledge Allah. You have to acknowledge these other gods that were venerated on earth. Correct? So then surmising that they were all one is a name for that. Being like all these gods is one, just the one. Well, it's a name for that. And this is part of the anomaly I'm explaining. Okay? You see what I'm saying? So really, the Bible is monolatristic. Tell me I'm wrong. We didn't put this up before. We're going to do it again. We teach. I've been teaching on this for years. The Bible is monolatristic, not monotheistic. Now we're going to bust open another tab and do what we've just done recently and type in, just so people can see. You feel me? Just so people can walk with me on this to understand how the mother goddess got took all about the Bible. And I told you I ain't going to do no extra build on this. I wanted a list of the theisms. Okay, here we go. We'll just go over these before we even get down to... They should have gave me a better list. Let me see. But this is just wiki. But I had put up a better one before, so I wonder where did I get that from. Well, I want y'all to focus on these. Well, are they on in here even? How about this? Let me just type it in for you. Henotheism. Okay, instead of... Now, the Bible was originally written henotheistic, not polytheistic, because we need to understand what this is. And tell me, am I wrong? Of one God is the worship of a single supreme God while not denying the existence or possible existence of other lower deities. That's henotheism. It was originally written henotheistically, and then what happened? Monotheism got superimposed on the text so that all the henotheistic tales turned into what? They got amalgamated into one deity. And I can prove that on various instances. If we are willing to understand the Elohim how they should be understood, and I love using these tools just to show certain people, okay. See, no, they just wanted to say this clear, but this is just them trying to. Why is this the number one thing that they're trying to say? In the Hebrew Bible, Elohim usually refers to a single deity. I can show you how they lie. But they just telling you at other times it refers to deities in plural. The reason why they wanted to address that within the first sentence is because Elohim, as we all know by now, is plural in Hebrew, right? Well, how is that significant? It is because the way we're supposed to understand the Bible. They translated it out, and if you see my video on biblical monolatry, you will see the whole breakdown I give you about the translations and what they do so that people don't even understand them. Here we go with a list of the theisms. And so, do we have monolatry on here? Yes or no? Let's see if this more accurately fits into what we perceive as biblical text or this religion. Single. Okay, monolatry is a belief that is belief in the existence of many gods, but with the consistent worship of only one deity. That's more honest, correct? Isn't that? I think that is more honest. That yes, they acknowledge other deities, and if we learn so, we start to learn how to read the Bible better, right? And all of this is back significant to us understanding why we do not know they was talking about Nana in the Bible when they referencing El Shaddai. Because first, we got to catch the theme of the heavy breast and then watch it enter. And this is the cat, this is the cat woman that my good brother brought up the other day for other purposes. But lo and behold, she's still rocking the theme of the heavy breast, basically. And then it starts to fade away, but this is still Nana, okay? Still worshipped as Nana. Now the point, I mean, we got a whole bunch of them, but that point was simply being made to say when figurines start to enter into the Bible, they enter as what we know as graven images, but also something you need to know, like we spoke on before, they're called groves. A grove. A grove in the Bible was really a statue to Ashura, or was one of these things. So let me go back to and find a grove exactly, since this is the one that was found in Judah. Let me show you what the God was commanding people not to do. Don't venerate these. These are groves. Even though this is not Ashurath, or Ashura, or how they want to say that. This is a grove, and I can prove that with the Strong's dictionary, okay? This is how we studying, though. We really need to get it in like this more often, right? I mean, instead of just everybody bumping their gums about how they feel. I'm tired of listening to everybody smart. We all got egos. We all black. You know, we all be feeling like we right. Tell the truth. Let's just bow down. You got to put your work up. If you ain't putting your work up, then it's just like, oh, here we go again. About to be bumping our gums all night on the opinions that we feel. I'm going to write the word grove, Grove, in the quick version of the Strongs. And let's see what happened. Grove, Bible study tools, Grove. I'm giving y'all the back work, man. Look, how that boy do that? He must have studied this before. So you trying to tell me that church in the ghetto called New Mount Grove is really, get off my screen, bro. How I get that off the screen? Hold on. Nah, they can't send me no notifications, block. And whatever this ad just popped up, I gotta do something real quick. I have to open up the big screen just to get it up out real quick. All right, now tell me I'm wrong. You feel me? So basically, the grove was Ashura. Now let's go in on the grove. They keep telling you stay away from the grove, bro. Don't mess with the grove. Look, let's just see what they're saying in Kings about the grove. I don't see, yeah. And cast the powder therefore upon the grave. No, the graves. I don't see the grove. Oh, there it is. And he brought out the grove from his house of the Lord. Now you see, people will fool you like he brought out a tree, huh? He had a grove in his house of the Lord. I just showed you what a grove was. It was one of these. Let me go get some water. Because my daughter didn't deal with me when I called her. Shit. Yeah, and I'm a
Black people, I love you, and I love you enough to tell you, you ain't ready to revolt shit. You don't feed yourself, you don't hunt your own animals and slaughter them, you don't prepare your own meat, you don't own your own land, you don't have a seed in your window. So you think about revolutionarism, you think about fighting it down in the street, you ain't shit.
The mic said black people ain't ready to revolt. It's a disparaging marriage and he ready to elope. Maritime coastline, deep V or boat. Crack a nose turned up, machete to your throat. The divine snatched the arm back, she fine, she in Zinga. Moroccan mercenary got a line on Moringa. Ask Chief X to swing it. Go fund me to rock a new car or build a school like I'm Dr. Umar. Nah, go fund some more guns, banana clips and cannabis, and bury it, the jackal, Anubis. I'm cool, keep them heaters and I'm in tie in an abyss. He ain't rapping due to libations, he just channeling this.
Hands down. You ain't ready to oppose nothing. You are as a part of this system as any white person gentrifies you.
I'm on life, hovercraft propellers over swamp water. We make the thoughtful think they should have thought harder. Be aware of this, don't blink, it's only.
Mic check 1, 2. Oh shit. I got chalked up like a motherfucker. Had to go run downstairs. Call your kids down, listen. Down here you on purpose. Tell the truth. And he brought out, so what was he doing with a grove in the house of the Lord? See, I told you if I convert it to Hebrew for a month, I'll beat up the whole conscious community. All y'all. Who want funk? Who want it? Because I was the one with the grove in the house of the Lord. Because I knew what was going on. And I kept it a buck. But what did he do? He brought out the grove from the house of the Lord. He brought out Ashura. Am I wrong? They want you to think it was a tree. This is why they translating these things away from you. But what he do? He brought out Ashura from the house of the Lord. Am I wrong? Let's go back and see. Let's go back and see. Let's go back and see. Am I wrong? Come on, man. I'm still trying to clear myself up. The word. Come on, man. I don't got to keep reading all this to translate the mysterious term Ashura, which is not a grove, but probably an idol or an image of some kind. So then why y'all calling it a grove? To fool the people, ladies and gentlemen. It should say that on there, but it's not going to say that. See, there's another grove in the Bible. And you don't know when they talking about which one, huh? See? This is tricky, bruh. So you got to understand that. I just showed you when they brought the grove out the house of the Lord, it wasn't no Bible. The first two mean Ashura. These both got different strong numbers, just for the record. Meaning that there's two different groves in there that mean Ashura. And let's see what the third one means. Huh? He gave, but it's one that do kind of mean a tree, but you could clearly see here, I ain't making this up. So now let me go back to what I was showing you. What did he bring about the house? Let me show you. He brought the grove about the house, correct? Bow. This was found in Judah. How is this significant? Because way before that, his ancestors, all the ancestors to the Hebrews, let me speak from the Hebrew perspective. all our ancestors was worshiping the mother goddess. We was the first on the black woman was God. Y'all Egyptian dudes is pseudo. We was rocking the black woman was God. Y'all instilled the patriarchy. Now what? Bow. I'll beat you up from the Hebrew perspective. Who want to talk? I'm kind of tell you. And they don't even mess with my work because they don't even understand what the Magi is all about. A real Magi, not like just playing. I want to be as real with it as I can, so I do everything I can in my real life to be what I want to be. I study, I do the art of the Magi. I'm nice with the bow, but I'll show you some shit. Let me show you. Man, motherfuckers don't be knowing. We about to have some fun. That's for real. Because why not? Huh? I'm really a Magi archer. Like, let me show y'all something nobody can show you. Why? Because they not a Magi archer. Dude, I'm not. You think I'm saying some crazy stuff like a little kid? I'm about to show you me splitting arrows. Okay? Why I'm going to show you that? Because this is African tradition and accuracy. And I bring this accuracy to my scholarship. But I'm showing you, you really got to do that in real life. You think I'm playing? By the way, follow me on Instagram if you don't already. Casual Rap Guy on Instagram. But let me just show you the demonstration how we really do things. See? They think I be playing when I say Magi archers. I'm going to tell you what I'm about to do, then I'm about to do
It's
it.
hella windy out here.
Can y'all hear that?
I'm aiming for the orange, but in my bow, I'm about to be aiming right here. I'm going to let y'all... Actually, I'm aiming like for this or this. And that's going to allow me to hit this. Trust me. I mean, if my wind compensation is good, we at 20 yards. So let's see what I said.
So what am I showing you here? I'm about to show you me
I'm
put...
gonna aim at what I said.
I'm about to almost split these arrows in half.
Yeah.
Look at the distance. And it's windy. And I was describing where I need to aim in order to do what? In order to really hit the bullseye, just like we do with our... this is Magi archers, arrows up, bruh. You see that X in the sky? I didn't put that X in the sky. It was just there. Watch this. Listen.
Bullseye. Let's see if I know what I'm talking about. And then I'm gonna put a shot right next to the last one, just to show that that wasn't no bullshit.
I want you to see
So those
this.
shots should be less than an inch apart.
Just so you can understand.
They should be right on the bullseye. Why would I say that? Because I'm a Magi archer, B. God damn it. See, that's why I say at least, I mean, you know what I'm talking about? Damn.
Oh, you think
I'm
that
out
was
here
luck?
practicing wind
Oh, somebody thinks that was
compensation, right?
luck. No, we actually put practice in. We actually put so much practice in to do what we want to do, to be the people we want to be. And if you're not doing that, if you're watching the game right now, you already, I ain't going to say it like that. We all got our chills. We all got the way that we do this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to take you back to the day to prove that I ain't just bumping my gums. Lord, I've been splitting arrows. And I've been calling it out ever since before I do it.
I'm gonna take this last shot for you.
I'm going to tell you, I'm about to split these arrows right here, bruh. I almost split them for real.
Get my targets right. I'm gonna take this last shot for you. Show y'all how we do it out here.
I'm talking about my scholarship. I take it this seriously. I ain't walking around calling myself a Magi archer and won't pick up a bow and put one arrow through an eye. You're supposed to be able to put an arrow through an eye. We call it the eye smiters. Now let's see. 128 weeks ago.
Magi archers. Accuracy. Oh. That's good.
Oh, this is a different one. But still, it's the same thing, bro. It's all about, you feel me? I
see
missed
there.
him twice. This is just being real. Let's
All
keep
right,
it a
I'ma
buck.
put
But look
one.
at all them.
Ooh, it's
I thought I had the
stomach,
one where I split the arrows. My
don't
bad.
bleed.
But anyway, I was only saying that to say, when we talk about this, when I'm talking about this, I'm really trying to be as real as you could be with it. Like, I don't want nobody coming up on me being like, Magi's were experts with the bow. And I'm just gonna go, huh, and keep on talking. You feel me? And you know, that's what it is. My group was hieroglyphic, so I had to learn the Medu Neter. It's just go like that. But let's get back to it. Because we was talking about the Bible and proving stuff, and I'm like saying, if I was, I'm still arguing from the Hebrew perspective. I converted to a Hebrew for this video to show y'all how I beat y'all all up. And I'm talking my talk, because you know how we do, because we arrogant Africans. No, we not. Look, let me tell you something. All of the stuff that you see written on the pyramid text could be equated to battle raps. Tell me I'm lying, and I'll pull up the Cannibal Hymn right now and break it down for you in a way you ain't never seen nobody break it down. All the braggadocio that one had to learn to subside was taught about in the teachings of Ptahhotep. You see, we was dealing with our character since the first book was ever written in the world. The first book, the Maximum Ptahhotep, was teaching me how to not get so hyphy right now. Teaching me how to not stumble upon my own arrogance. You know why? It's because we was dealing with them issues back in the day. All of this same stuff I'm telling you. So when I'm like, yeah, this, that, because when I say that, I see ancient texts where Unes was saying once he died, he was about to eat all the Neteru. He used the term that I use today to say that I'm going to devour, because for some reason devouring your competition is still the height of our wordplay as Africans. Because rappers eat rappers every day, and we are at the forefront of African wordplay, whether you like it or not. Rappers, not scholars. Am I lying? It ain't every rapper, but if you go into that, you're going to learn that they are pushing the forefront on African poetics, and they are still using ancient traditions. Cats are still eating foods. I keep on saying in the Cannibal Hymn that the Hebrews thought was actually people getting eaten. I had to explain to them, bro, it's like a battle rap. And at the end, they all felt me. Because everybody was able to see it. Because we all, it's in our DNA. He was about to eat all the Neteru. Come on now, let's bring it up. Pull it up. Oh, let me see. C-A-N-N. Cannibal Hymn. Now I'm going to see if you can see it as a battle rap. But I probably won't find no quick ass source on it. But to let me read, I could find my work on it and go into my own notes. But if I could, Sophia, they might have it here, excuse me. Oh, you're not looking at what I'm looking at. I thought y'all was looking at what I was looking at. Shit, I got choked up earlier, bro. The Cannibal Hymn in the tomb of Sophia should have it. Now, this is on the cartouche, the Nabank. You see, they call. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. All right, this is crazy. The cartouche ain't nothing. That's really a shinu, bro. They call it a cartouche because they thought it looked like a cartridge, a gun cartridge. So they called it a cartouche, and we call them cartouches to this day. But that's a shinu, so it's that's the shinu of Winnie. And we're gonna go into the Cannibal Hymn and understand he's dead. Listen to this. For Pharaoh is great power and listen to how much braggadocio and how much hip hop this is. For Pharaoh is the great power that overcomes the powers. Pharaoh is a sacred image, the most sacred image of the sacred images of the great one. Ooh, already started with bars. I don't care what nobody say, you have to understand these things. Because you ain't about to get no better explanation for the cannibal hymn than one I'm about to bestow upon you. Who he finds in his way, him he devours bit by bit. Whom he finds in his way, him he devours bit by bit. Now, them not understanding Africanology, you feel me? They not even understanding no African culture. Like, look, he be eating boo. And I'm like, don't tell me you don't understand how he getting at him. Watch this. The pyramid, the introduction, I want to read the text. And I want to read the actual translations for y'all, not their, not all of their, I mean, you guys are welcome to do this. This is sophiatopia.org /my/cannibal. But I'm looking for the quick translations of it so I can read to you how that was coming. Regardless, all throughout the cannibal hymn, one would do all, here, is this it? All right, well, I don't even think they about to, all right, here we go. Again, I don't want to, if these utterances aren't the ones that I'm looking for, I could just be reading to you a bunch of things that are not actually what I am looking for. But if anybody want to do more research into that for the cannibal hymn and want to see if it could be addressed from the angles that I am proposing, that it was the original ancient Egyptian wordplay. And you want to know why? It's because I didn't learn ancient Egyptian wordplay like that. I learned it in a different way. When I started doing other research, I didn't learn it in those ways. For instance, I was doing research in other fields and started seeing obvious. For instance, a word for death to mean the word for life in the ideogram would be phallus. Okay? Muktut could be something that brings life, and it also means poison. It could be a bodily fluid found, and they call DNA. If you get charged with something, that's muktut. See what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And then also actual poison is muktut. So in this wordplay right there, you see what? Life and death, depending on your connotation or how you understand the word when the person's talking. This is real traditional, classic, ancient Egyptian wordplay. And this is why my bar's been stepped up lately too. This is why I've been out rapping dudes. Because I'm tapping into something else. I don't be writing no more even. I don't even write no more. But this ain't about me. This is about who? The mother goddess. I'm just going off on tangents to help y'all feel everything. Because when it start getting down, and where we left off at, we clearly was seeing that, excuse me for just running up the screen. I'm trying to get back to where we was at. And then I'm gonna end it on the mother goddess, because y'all can all read this work, and y'all probably read this work before, a couple of y'all. We went into the Bible and seen them sneak dissing Ashura. They were sneak dissing, they were subtweeting because they were trying to call her the Grove, when now we just busted them out and went and looked to see what the Grove meant, and they was talking about these graven images. And I'm not saying this is the goddess Ashura, but I know this is Nana, a graven image of her found where? In Judah. And so this could have been exactly the image that they brought up out of the house of the Lord on these pages. You know what I'm saying? Before I got in the show why I was really a Magi Archer. In case they thought I'd just be sitting around bullshitting. Boy, I got so nice with the pistol, I had to put that down. I had the CHP standing behind. Bruh, I've been at the shooting range with the CHP standing behind me like this, looking at how fucking good I was shooting. And I always pull my pants up hella high just to send another message. Like if I walk into the range, I might be looking like y'all gonna be like, that boy looks like, God damn, bro. You feel me? Because you know why? It's just something. Because I ain't walking in here no saggy Negro. And second of all, you about to see this accuracy. They were standing behind me like this. And then when I finally seen, they were seeing how good I was shooting. I turned around. Guess what they said? You in the military? I swear to God. I was like, nope. And turned around. Pop, 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 pop. Sheep. But I stopped doing that because that turns into a waste of money. You start wasting too much ammo at the range once I got my stuff up. Anyway, I'm just telling y'all, man, this is the show. And we is African. And Egypt is African. And the white people tell you that now. And anybody ain't telling you that now, it's tripping. Shout out to my peoples though, because either I'm gonna learn from you or you gonna learn from me. That's just an exchange. It's gonna go that way. You feel me? I'm gonna beat up Nana some more just so the people know. Because when I said I got this energy to talk about her, because when I start really thinking about the Hittites, people don't know. I keep telling people, stop looking for the Moors in Egypt, bruh. Go write a body of work on all of the Moor kings that called themselves Moor. Since y'all looking for an M and an R, why don't you go to the Hittite Empire and see what happened there? I'm not saying that for nothing. Dr. Nana Darkwa said the Iwa people migrated up out of Ghana, went through Egypt, and went up north. Now what do we find up north? We find out that the Hittite language has a preceding language called Hattic, which some people called the Keta who lived up there, who was dignified or signified as being the bosses of the area, because they was the dignitaries that was it Ramses? Who was the Battle of Kadesh? That got to be Ramses. Megiddo, the Battle of Megiddo is Tutmosis. The Battle of Kadesh is Ramses. Tell me y'all if y'all right in the thing. In the Battle of Kadesh, you know what I'm talking about? Kadesh, if somebody want to look it up, or with a Q. In the Battle of Kadesh, Ramses like, look, bruh, but we need to stop fighting. I had a fraternity with your elders. My father had a fraternity, and they used the word fraternity. And these people, this was when he was fighting against who? Moricili. What's up? He was fighting against Moricili, and they had hella Mori kings. Moricili goes down into Moricili, or whatever, goes down in ancient Egyptian history as Marasara. We know Sarah is the son of God, so now we dealing, or the son of the Netcher, so now we dealing with Mara. Dude, it's crazy to me. I'm just saying, but I don't want to go pseudo. I just want to point y'all in a direction that might be more lucrative or feasible. So now, I can show y'all books that was talking about the God with the breast. I can show y'all books. I'm not making this up. Listen. Let me go back up here. Well, just take this book. It's called The God with Breast. Okay, it's by David Bialy, I think that's how you say his name. The God with Breast. So if they came to the conclusion that El Shaddai was Ashura, man, I'll make this point so easy. Oh, I forgot I was being a Hebrew for the day and showing y'all we been on the black woman was God way before y'all, because the forefathers, my forefathers, who? Abraham, Jacob, Isaac, all the forefathers worship El Shaddai. El Shaddai was the mother goddess, my brother. See, my brothers and my other Hebrew brothers have been taught this stuff monotheistically, let's say. And because our religion is monotheistic, we've been under the impression that our text is. But indeed, we find our text is not once we go into the ancient records of our ancestors. I'll beat y'all up if I was a Hebrew. Tell me I wouldn't. Who got work like that? You see, it's the problem. Because y'all thought the serpent came to, I beat them all up with this right here. Y'all don't understand biblical monolatry. And when you begin to understand biblical monolatry, you'll see that Yahweh Elohim is a different deity from Elohim. Yahweh Elohim, when written Lord with all capitals, come on, man, I got to show these people because I do this work. Now I'm going to show you how to get there, y'all. Let me show you how to get there. If you're ever on my page and you want to deal with some of these topics, you don't even have to trip. You just come up here and type it in the search because that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to type monolatry, right? And I'm going to break it down. And don't forget, I'm still a renter Hebrew for like another hour and showing y'all how I will beat y'all up from the Hebrew perspective with my own work that people don't be using. I could go in on this one, but this ain't the one I was looking for. I want to show you something. It's called Bible codes. So let me type in Bible codes. I'm going to keep coming from the Hebrew perspective for a moment. Why I'm doing this? Because I'm a Magi archer. I ain't got no affiliations to nothing but truth, bruh. I don't necessarily side with you. You just be telling the truth if I side with you. You understand that, right? You must be rocking the truth real wholesomely if I fucks with you like that. Master keys to writing the Bible with monolatristic understanding how the Hebrew Bible is not a monotheist. It's not monotheistic. But I want y'all to, now tell me to stop if you know this already. Somebody write stop. I know somebody do know this. So if you are that person, don't bust me out and write stop, really. I'm just being me. Look, tell me to stop if you know this already. When you read the King James Version and see Lord with one capital, all lowercase letters, that means the Hebrew term Adonai. But when you see Lord in all capitals, that translates to the Hebrew word Yahweh. Well, when you see God's all lowercase, that means the sons of El, Elohim, Egyptian gods are divine people. But let's keep going because this ain't the one I want you to dig in on. When you see God with one capital and two lowercase, that means Elohim. Okay? But these are all what? These are all quote unquote pronouns for the one deity, correct? So let's keep going. When you see God, well, why would they do this then? When you see God with all capitals, but the second two appear smaller, it means Lord Yahweh. But this one I'm not going to go through the whole list. You can find the work on here. And you can even find out when they say Most High, they're really talking about Elyon, which really takes us back to Canaanite deities before we was praising the Almighty Yah. Can I get an amen, my brothers? You see, some of our elders, just like it say in the good book, worship the mother goddess because the mother goddess was El Shaddai, and we know this because we understand the original Hebrew where a breast is shad, my brothers, and shadim being breast. But then we also know at the good time when our forefather Abraham chilled up under the Moreh tree in Shechem, that El Shaddai came to our brother and blessed him with fruitfulness and the blessing of the womb. Boy, I'll beat y'all up if I was a Hebrew. What you gonna tell me I'm wrong? You ain't gonna tell me I'm wrong. Shit, I've been trying to check this out, bro. I got the vaccine. Shit. I got some shit coughing in my throat right now. I ain't even scared. You feel me? Shit. But damn, since I've been busting, I've been trying to clear my throat. Now, see, every time I'm like, damn. Anyway, when you see Most High, only High, and it's capitalized, that's Elyon. The Lord Most High is Yahweh Elyon. You got to understand this, bruh. The Lord, if it says the Lord Most High and the first letters are all capitalized, it says Yahweh Elyon. Get that through your head. But if you see God Almighty, and this is wrong, and we're gonna focus on this. If you see God Almighty, that translates back to El Shaddai, okay? But I want y'all to focus on something. I got a source from the New Jerusalem Standard Edition of the Bible on page 908 says what? Call my bluff. Why don't nobody call my bluff? Call my bluff. Go to the Standard Edition of the New Jerusalem Bible and go to page 908 and see if it says, translating El Shaddai as God Almighty is inaccurate. Because I could be wrong, see? Then you could got me on some shit that I'm wrong. But I'm telling you it say that. So what I want you to focus on here so we could get back to Eve and this snake. Because I ain't losing nothing, bro. I stays on track. I'm really this. I ain't never said I was no scholar. I always write independent researcher. You can't take independent researcher away from nobody. Motherfucker researching and they by themselves. Hey, independent researcher. I'm just keeping it real. Shit. Now, I want this one I want y'all to see, but I don't know if I put this in here, but y'all gotta see it before I continue. It's just too much. Oh, here we go. Here we go, right here. This is the one I'm about to beat y'all britches with. Right here. Bow. When you see Lord God, as you do, when the snake is convincing Eve, man, that dude tripping. You's not about to die if you eat that. Y'all gotta read what it say in the Hebrew and understand the Bible is monolatristic. Why is this key? Because it was Lord God. That translates back to what? When you see Lord God, it means Yahweh and the Elohim. Yahweh of the Elohim or Yahweh Elohim. No way around it. We can say Elohim without saying Yahweh. We can say Yahweh without saying Elohim. When you see Lord God, the text wanted you to know Yahweh Elohim for a reason. Go back and read this and see what I'm saying. Go read this with an interlinear Bible. Open it up and read when the snake came to Eve and see what was really going on. See, the snake was like, did Elohim say that? Or did Yahweh Elohim say that? We're going to go on and read it. And then you're going to be like, hell no. I ain't lying. If I'm lying, tell me I am. We're going to go into the Bible. One of the only instances when Yahweh Elohim is used, so to speak, like Lord God, as the way we're talking about, is used in other places. But it's used there to make a distinction between what the Elohim said and what Yahweh said. And the snake was representing what the Elohim said. Tell me I'm wrong. Come on. I got the thing up here. I got the live open. Look into the chat. I got a Zoom open at the bottom. I'm coming from the Hebrew stance too, showing y'all that I understand that the religion is monotheistic and the text started henotheistically and turned into sort of it got translated out. It just began to be a monolatry. Where I'm wrong at? What church you go to that was serving it better? Ladies and gentlemen, what Hebrew you following right now that's serving it better? Because I told y'all I was about to be a Hebrew for about 10 minutes to put hands on y'all. Let me see. Let's go in and see if I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do an African scarification right now live on my face. You gonna be like, bro, this boy trying to get some views. When I do that scarification and tell y'all this don't hurt, y'all gonna be like, he was trying to get some views. Nah, bruh. I'm telling y'all, the snake was like, Elohim didn't say that. Yahweh said that. Eat that apple. You was not about to die. Bow. Checkmate. Watch this. See, you get a heightened understanding when you look at things the right way. And if I was wrong, y'all don't got nothing for me. The way y'all explain it is all stupid. So don't even come to me and try to take me back to that old ass way y'all see it. The way it's supposed to happen. Oh, Eve was wrong. She listened to the snake. The snake was the serpent. Shut up. A snake wasn't bad in no ancient culture. Now all of a sudden, come on, man. Y'all got me messed up. It was John who made the snake bad. When he amalgamated, like they be doing all throughout the goddamn Bible, John, when he wrote the Revelations, amalgamated the serpent, the dragon, the devil, Diablos, and who else? Lucifer, and said they was all one thing. I told you I beat y'all up if I was a Hebrew. What you gonna tell me didn't exist? I tell you hella shit in Kemet didn't exist. Don't get me started. Magi archers. What you gonna tell me didn't exist? Tell me Norma existed. Prove it. Prove it. Right now. What you gonna do? Get the Norma palette? That prove he existed? So that prove he existed. So shut up. I'm Hebrew right now. And it's running out. I couldn't do a month. I got 15 more minutes. I'm showing y'all that the Hebrews get it in. Watch this. You think I'm wrong? We going to Bible. I want to go to one of my favorite blue Bible. I'll just put Bible blue. It should pop up. So that y'all can see this interlinear homework. I need one of my people to let me know what was the verse on Eve. I ain't got that in my head. It's Genesis what? Genesis what is Eve? So we can look at it in the interlinear Bible. One of my people out there got that for me. I would have that if I was doing my Hebrew mode. I'm supposed to know that by heart, right? See if I'm lying. Let's see if I'm lying. Come on. I want to prove some shit. Let's get into Genesis. What verse in Genesis was the Bible with Eve and all that stuff? I mean, with Eve. Matter of fact, we could talk about snakes in a lot of ancient cultures. But if anybody, first of all, if you ain't familiar with the Blue Letter Bible, get familiar with it if you addressing things dealing with the Bible. And clicking tools is one of the most powerful things you're going to start to be able to do to get some heightened understanding. Let's see if what I say is true or if I'm lying. Or I'm going to have to Google to ask Google what verse did Eve, dang, eat the apple. Since nobody, I know I got some good Hebrews in my chat. Get all these Kemites up out of here. It's only one day, y'all. Y'all gonna have to see what y'all would have to deal with. So they say Genesis 3. Okay. Okay. So I could just be able to skip over. Where's the skip over? Fuck it. I want to just show you this now. And the serpent was more subtle than any beast in the field, of which now we leading with my Bible code, right? Of which capital Lord God has made. Who is capital Lord God? See? You think it's all the same, but I gave y'all the master keys to reading the Bible. When you see capital Lord God, it means Yahweh of the Elohim. So look, they telling you, they giving you game. The serpent was wiser than every beast Yahweh made. How he wiser than every beast Yahweh made? How he the wisest of all the beasts Yahweh made? Because some people try to tell you the serpent was the devil and the serpent was the other bad people. The serpent was, well then what happened to the dragon? See, you motherfuckers ain't getting off. It was a dragon in motherfucking Revelations. What happened to that? Because it was the Diablos, it was Lucifer, it was the serpent and the dragon. So what happened to the dragon? That ain't gonna get us through? Let me break this down so we can understand what I'm showing y'all. When you see the Lord God, it means Yahweh and or Yahweh of the Elohim. In this context, you should look at it as Yahweh of the Elohim. And what does it say? When the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh Elohim had made, and he said unto the woman, has God said? What? He didn't say Yahweh Elohim this time. He said capital G O D. Let's go see what's capital G O D, lowercase O D. When you see G with one capital and two lowercase, it means Elohim. Tell me I ain't the best Hebrew out. Nah, he's preaching nonsense. No, you're looking at the Bible because you think, because your religion is monotheistic, you think the text is. Boom, 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 boom. Down to Marco. Because your religion is monotheistic, you superimpose your presuppositions onto the text. But they clearly showing you, and I'm clearly showing you. And when you see God with one capital and two lowercase, it means Elohim. All the gods, specifically the 70 sons of El, who I'm about to show you in the Bible. Now let's go back. Oh, y'all not seeing the Bible? Oh, I'm tripping. I gotta make it so y'all can see the Bible. Hold on. See if I can do that. Now y'all see the Bible? Nope, I gotta kind of like pull this tab into this screen. Let me see if I can do it. Bow, now y'all see the Bible. Now when the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God, which Yahweh Elohim had made, and he said unto the woman, hey, did Elohim say not eat the fruit of the garden? What does that mean? Did Yahweh say that? Or did all the gods say that? Because you ain't gonna die. And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat from the fruit of the tree of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, thou shalt not eat. So she coming back like Elohim said, they did not eat. They did not eat. We got to look into it. Now we tapped into the tools, and now we should find, let's see if I'm still doing my, if you can't find Elohim, then you can't read Hebrew. So she say Elohim in this instance. You feel me? So she said, if you follow my story, she said all the gods did say it. Because that's plural. But let's keep going. If you follow in my analogy, and let's see. What are the fruit? And let's see. And the serpent said to the woman, yeah, you ain't going to die. And for God knoweth, and for Elohim does not know the day of the earth, and is bringing forward. What I wanted to point out was the very rare use of this capitalization, all capital Lords, one capital G and lowercase OD, was making some type of, giving you just a little different way to look at things. But, I mean, the result is the same, correct? You still get the same result. You wasn't supposed to do that, but we getting it from a different story that may appear more accurate. And when the eyes of them were both open, now here come Yahweh Elohim again. For some reason, why they keep going there like that? You feel me? Now, who is this talking? I just wanted to show y'all that. I mean, come on now. I ain't imposing nothing on you. I ain't showing you nothing. Just get it clear. Let's just get it clear. I ain't showing you nothing but how this can be looked at henotheistically. All right, blood, I'm about to start busting it up. Since y'all really want that homework, you can arrive at those conclusions once you get further down this line. But let's see something. Real quick. Because who is Benny Elohim? I'm saying this, I'm the Hebrew in this conversation. Right now, don't forget. You feel me? I'm showing you what was going on. I'm showing you the proper way to read this without only getting the translations or the knowledge of the translators. You gonna come up with your own interpretations, but you gonna see things that you probably couldn't have seen if you didn't have this extra little piece of information. I got a number, I got a call-in number up, and I got a Zoom open down there for anybody who felt like they, want to teach me about what I think I know. You feel me? It's not a problem. Let's look at this. Deuteronomy. I'm about to bust this wide open. Deuteronomy 32, 8 and 9. When Elyon gave the nations as an inheritance, when he separated the sons of man, he set the boundaries of the people according to the number of the sons of God. For Yahweh's portion. Why did Yahweh get a portion? What? An inheritance. If you was the God giving out the inheritance, you ain't the God receiving it. Huh? If you was the God giving out the inheritance, you can't be the God receiving it. I just had to make them points, man. I ain't even stand on the biblical monolatry. But you feel me, though? When Elyon gave the nations as an inheritance, he separated the sons of man and set boundaries of the people according to the numbers of the sons of God. How many sons did Elyon have, y'all? 70. The Canaanite god Elyon had 70. How many nations are in the Bible? 70. So since Elyon gave out the nations as an inheritance, see, this was the Most High. When the Most High gave, this is different than Yahweh. And I'm proving it. When the Most High gave out his nation's inheritance, he was separate. When he separated the sons of man, he set the boundaries of the people according to the numbers of the sons of God. Okay? For Yahweh's portion was his people. Why Yahweh getting a portion of an inheritance? Who gave out the inheritance? Oh my God. You know what an inheritance is? It's something you could never spend of your own. You see what I mean? An inheritance is bestowed upon an heir. If you got an inheritance, you're not going to get none of it, correct? Unless you go spend your inheritance, then your seed won't get none of it. How many sons did Elyon have in the Canaanite pantheon? See, people got to just start asking. Peace to the Dagger Squad in the building. People just got to start asking Google simple questions. How many sons? Look, how many sons of El? I'm just going to show you something. All right, say 77. Yeah, well, you're going to come down to 70. All right? In the Hittite text, it expressed blah, 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 the father of 77 sons. Let's go right here and see if it say he's had 70 sons. Well, I know this from Canaanite text. I don't know it from Wiki. Okay, yeah, just like the Dagger Squad say right there. 70 sons. How many nations in the Bible? 70 nations. It's very interesting that Elyon, the Most High right here, who is dividing up the nations, When he separated the sons of man, he set the boundaries by the people according to the number of sons of God. 70. 70 nations in the Bible, 70 sons of Elyon in Canaanite text. For Yahweh's portion, 1 of 70. 1/70th. Yahweh's portion was 1/70th of Elyon's inheritance. Don't you see what they're saying? He set the boundaries of the people according to the numbers of the sons of God. For Yahweh's portion was his people. Who gave Yahweh something? Who gave God something? This person named Elyon. And I can prove over and over and over and over again that this dude was already popping way before Yahweh got popping. It's because when Melchizedek came up to Abraham and blessed him, he was a god of who? Elyon. You see? He was a high priest of Elyon. You see? By the way, Brother Garfield, I converted to Hebrew just for, I said a month, but I don't think I could do a month. So I converted to Hebrew for like 24 hours to show none of y'all don't want that work. You don't want that work, Garfield. For me being a Hebrew right now, for the next 24 hours, I'll give you that work, bruh. Trust and believe. Because I don't teach the normal Hebrew. I'm trying to teach them what they should understand, because the Bible was not monotheistic, but the religion was. And they presuppose, they superimpose monotheism on the text because the religion is monotheistic. The link is in the description of the video. There's a Zoom link in the description of the video. If somebody want to build, there's a Zoom link in the description of the video. And I'm Hebrew for a minute. I'm a Magi Archer Hebrew because we let them build temples down in Nubia. What you want to know about that? Huh? You see, when Darius was acting a fool, they had to sneak past Egypt and come down to deal with the Magi. Yes, the Jews. Huh? Am I wrong or am I strong? My Hebrew brothers had to sneak past Kemet. You feel me? Oh, you about to get this one? Give me that work. Somebody about to give me that work. Hold on. I don't see nobody trying to come into the Zoom, so I'm gonna wait until you step up. Yeah, that's cool. And I'm a Hebrew when you jump on too, Garfield. How was we in Elephantine? Thank you. How was we in Abu? Because that's what we called it. Because we mess with the Magi. We don't call it Elephantine. Where you coming from, Garfield? How was we in Abu? Getting permission to rebuild our temple to Yah if we wasn't there? Somebody answer me that. Huh? Told you my Hebrew pass expired tomorrow. But I hope some of my good brothers take some of my jewels I'm giving them out and add it to your work so that you can step up your artistry. Even if you don't agree with my final analogies on the text, you have to admit that I'm showing you something that you can only come to these conclusions by approaching the text with an open mind, because you only are limited to your canonical, you only limited to the Bible. And so you have to find different ways to read that Bible. Since you can't use extra biblical and non-canonical text, then you got to learn how to read the Bible in a different way. And so I started off by showing y'all that it was us, the Hebrews, that first venerated the mother goddess. It was our forefathers while y'all was on the patriarchy in Kemet, saying it took a woman to put the man on the throne. But what? But you took the matriarchy out completely and installed a new system that lasted and helped rule one of the best civilizations. We can't hate on our Kemet brothers. We got to keep it a buck. We took refuge in Kemet many a times. As a matter of fact, our families were some of the biggest fugitives on this earth. And where did we hide? In Egypt. Huh? Egypt didn't go on slave raids in the Hebrew land. It was our brothers who took our brother Joseph down into Egypt to be sold as a slave out of their jealousy for what he could do. Huh? It was our brothers, our Hebrew brothers, who took Joseph into Egypt to sell him as a slave because we didn't have no food in our land. And we didn't have no commodities to trade. So we snatched up our little brother and sold him into Kemet. And what happened when he got to Kemet? He started learning Metu Neter, and the Pharaoh took him in because he had these qualities that we sold him for. So we can't go bad on our Egyptian brothers either, my Hebrews. Told y'all I'll beat y'all up. Come on. Now, if I don't want to dagger you too much, Garfield, because then I'll dagger you too hard, and it'll knock you down a few flights. You feel me? Trust me, bro. You know, like, don't fall down them steps right now, because it's gonna be some people saying everything I'm about to say for a long time. Shasu, they talk about the Shashu Yahweh, where they know for indeed we were out there. And I'm going to tell you, yes, Yahweh came to us in the wilderness all of the time because Yahweh was a wilderness guy. But they'll tell you different. These other Hebrews. And I'm going to tell you right. And you'll find what I'm saying in other people's work. And I'm not just playing. Yahweh was a God of the wilderness. And El Shaddai was the goddess with breasts. You see, I ain't making this up. Go look up Tel El Talid. How do you say breast in Arabic right now? Well, it's Tel El breast in Arabic right now. That's the location called Shaddai. Man, do I have to show this? I'm not making this up. A Shadui, you see in Hebrew, a Shadui is a mountaineer. But mountaineer has the root. Dagaswar coming to beat me up. I'm about to convert back to Kemet right now before I let Garfield in. Hold on. Hold on. And then before I do that, I gotta open up a screen to make the Zoom work. Hold on, Garfield. I gotta spec. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, bro. I'm here.
Okay, but I got. You know, I'm working on OBS. I think I gotta make a window capture screen and share the Zoom. Peace. You had anything to add? We got the renowned author brother Garfield from the Dagger Squad in the building. And if you're not familiar with his works, we got the misconception. I don't want to quote your title wrong, so I'll let you take it over from there.
Misconceptions and Misinformation by the Black Hebrew Israelites, Volume 1. Can you hear me good?
I hear you very good. Party people, y'all can hear him out there. I still be in my hip hop Garfield, so I'll be talking
all
to the
time. I'll be checking out your lives. You be live as hell, man. You be doing the damn thing.
All right, but listen, man.
I hope you know I've read pretty much all your articles.
I know you did, so you'll be prepared to knock me down. I don't want you to. I'm
not knocking nobody down. I'm gonna knock my teacher down. One of my teachers. Hell no, I don't do that, man.
Yeah, I'm just joking, but I was talking about on my brief little conversion to Hebrewism that I did for one day, just to show them that I get in the community. And I said I debate Brother Jabari as a Hebrew right now. But I said I wouldn't debate the Amon-Ra squad because I would lose. I don't know if I'll lose to the Dagger squad. We might could play Jacks real quick and see. And what you got to say about my Hebrew brothers being down, messing with the Magi specifically at about the time of King Darius, if I'm not mistaken, trying to rebuild our temple to Yah. I thought we wasn't in Kemet. What's up with that?
Well, actually, you was in Kemet because they had another temple during the 2nd century also with Leontopolis. That's another temple that y'all had in Kemet. So they had temples because Antiochus Epiphanes destroyed a temple in Judah. So they had another temple that they ran away and built in Egypt called Leontopolis. So that's another temple. That's after Elephantine. But Elephantine was because the Persians had placed them there. And what's very strange about Elephantine is that they named the temple, they use an Akkadian word to name the temple, which is kind of tricky. You know, so they'd call it temple, and they'd use in the writings in the Elephantine papyri in the Hebrew, you'd see the word for temple is in an Akkadian word. But what's also funny about that, my Hebrew brother, because I'm gonna talk to you like you're Hebrew. Why is it that you didn't know what day you should have celebrated Passover for? Also, I'm gonna ask you a loaded ass question right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna do like what y'all do in the streets. I'm gonna ask a loaded ass question. Why is it you didn't know when Passover was celebrated? Why is it you celebrated Passover and it had nothing to do with Moses and it had nothing to do with the Exodus? Why is that?
That's a very good question. And you talking about at the time we was down there with the Magi now?
Yes, sir.
Well, one thing I want to say, a few things that I teach as a Hebrew won't be consistent with what you hear from a lot of other Hebrews. So about that time, you understand we was on the run, right? You know that, right? Well, specifically, we were seeking refuge in Nubia. I don't want to say on the run because that might be
I disagree. I disagree.
Okay. Why did we wind up in the areas of Nubia?
All right, so let's say this. All right, so y'all was at the border at Elephantine, right there at the border at Kemet and so-called Nubia, right? So watch this. Y'all was placed there by the Persians to basically be snitches. Let me call y'all Hebrew snitches.
Hold on. We was placed there by who?
By the Persians. Actually, by the Persians. Oh no, hold up. No, actually, it was by the Assyrians.
Nah, you talking in the wrong time period. You
Hold
was
on.
right
Listen
when
what
you
I'm
said
saying.
the Persians. You was right when you said the
y'all
Persians.
was there. All right, hold up.
It wasn't 600s. It wasn't in the 600s.
Let me put you on to something.
It was like the 300s, I think, BC.
It was
400s.
it was the 400.
Yeah,
400s. But they've been there. They were there the whole time.
But
They were there way before the Persians.
we were staying out of Egypt and dealing with the Magi, or specifically down in the areas of Nubia, and come to ask to build on an island. Wasn't it an island? It wasn't
Elephantine
Philae.
Island.
Not Philae.
Yeah.
Huh?
You sound like Jabari now talking about Philae and the mystery man that created Christianity.
I'm coming from the Hebrew right now. I'm not dealing
All
with
right.
I'm not.
All right.
But I'm talking about that. It
Century,
wasn't we trying to rebuild the temple on an island? Or are you saying it was just an Abu or Elephantine?
Just Elephantine. That's it.
Okay. Well, my question is, you gave me a good loaded question that I couldn't answer because I'm just a day old Hebrew. Hey, but I told you it's because we lost a lot of our tradition. But my question is, you guys did not acknowledge our presence there at all before I brought forth that source. It was like we made everything up. But now I see that we was in BC times trying to rebuild a temple to Yah way deep in, almost in Nubia. Elephantine ain't the Delta. You feel me?
But you just proved something to me a while ago. You just proved to me you ain't had no Torah because it's against the law to build a temple outside of Judah, according to the Torah.
Oh man, that's a good one. Is that the truth? I'm a weak Hebrew. Hold on.
That is the truth.
I'm about to go back to Kimmy in a minute. So why wasn't we supposed to build? But I'm telling you facts though. So I'm not trying to be a seminarian. You feel me? Like we know this is a fact that they tried to build this temple, correct? So then what you just said gets nullified.
They weren't trying to build a temple.
They asked for permission.
They were trying to rebuild a temple. And watch this. They sent a letter to the Samaritans, which is the northern Hebrews guys, northern Israelites. Because remember, they are up that side, the Samaritans in the northern part of Israel. And in the southern part, Judah, they reached out to them also for assistance. But not one time did they say to them, y'all can't build no temple because it's against God's law. So that's one of the evidences they use to say, hey, obviously there was no Torah, no established law at that time for Deuteronomy in that sense.
You just daggered yourself, bro. You just daggered yourself. So now you admitting we already had a temple built there that we wanted to rebuild.
I knew that, but I said
I know. I want to ask you some archaeological questions. How long in history do they say it take to build one of them temples?
I don't know. I can't tell you that.
We about to start working now, Garfield.
I'm gonna give you that one. Hold up, let me reach over for my book because I need some help.
Because
Let
I
me get
got
my
some
book.
bombs. You see now, we got the good brother to admit that, yeah, we was trying to rebuild a temple down in Nubia in BC times, but
Yes, it was.
we already had one because we was trying to rebuild it. Again, if people don't know,
Yep.
I converted
Yep.
to Hebrew today, and it expired at
Oh
I think
man,
the pumpkin gonna turn back into it's gonna turn to a pumpkin at midnight. But in the meanwhile, catch some of these Jews because we toss out Jews for our brothers. Specifically, I've been knew the Magi had some specific relationship with the Hebrews, all the way to the people that Jabari called the Timahu. We don't want to go there because the Timahu. Oh, I don't want to start saying. I don't want to get pseudo. Keep going, brother. Brother Garfield.
I was about to go in as you said that, but I'm gonna let that one slide. But the truth is though, on a serious note, they did have a temple before, and your peoples, the Egyptians, and I won't say Egyptians, I say people, your people, because I'm sure there's some Nubian mixture there based on what you said last night. So I'm not gonna give Egyptians the whole credit. But on the other hand, though, you got to look at it from this perspective. Darius gives a commandment. If you read, I could pull up the primary if you want me to, but the translated primary because I can't read the primary. But Darius gave the commandment for them to follow, to work to celebrate unleavened bread. He's the one that gave them, say, hey, y'all need to celebrate this so and so, so and so. So it was a tradition that was known, and obviously it was a Canaanite tradition. Because if anyone reads my book and goes to chapter 6, Passover and its origins, you'll see that the Zuku festival was actually the exact same thing as Passover, as how it's celebrated. So you look at the Zuku festival and you see that's a Canaanite culture. The Canaanite culture carried down, and these people basically took that tradition and renamed it and said, hey, the Passover is for Exodus. And that's pretty much what it is. Because the Passover was celebrated in Canaan for years.
All right, so why did we lose our tradition, or why? Do you know the answer to why we didn't know that? So I can answer that properly. Why didn't they know the day of the Passover?
Because Passover in the Bible, it was made up after that.
I'm about to go grab this book real quick. Bill, for a second. I'm about to just make a short run. I want to show you this book. I'll be right back.
All right, cool. All right, so let me go to chapter, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chapter 5, Passover and its origins. And I'm gonna talk about basically about the hold on 1 second. Let me haven't opened up my book in weeks. All right. So the Passover, ladies and gentlemen, is a sensitive topic. Very sensitive topic. So you have something called the Seder. The Seder is when like you sit down. This is traditional people, traditional Jews, not the Black Hebrew Israelites. Traditional Jews celebrate the Seder where they sit down and they drink wine and they have lettuce and all that stuff. That stuff is not in the Bible. That's just rituals that they practice. And what I do show in my book is that those rituals were practiced by the Greeks before, and basically the Jews adapted it. So it's not in the Bible. So obviously we could have that argument of why should they even be celebrating using the Seder and telling stories. All right. So when you sit down and you celebrate Passover, where did you get all of that from? So in my book, I basically point out a couple of things from the experts. One is Bernard Livingston.
My bad.
Another one is Tamara Prosick and Jeffrey Ardurch. Those are the three main experts on Passover and its origins. And those are the three people that I refer to in my book. And the reason why I use them is because they're from three different eras. So one is from the 80s, one is from the 90s, and one is from the 2000s. So that you get three different perspectives on where they're coming from. All right? What's the name of that book, beloved?
This book is actually about the Passover from a Jewish perspective. It's called Haggadah. It's pretty good, but I was about to look in here to see if I could hit you with a lug or two. So you build and go right here.
Yeah, so Haggadah is actually my book on page 113. I talk about it.
Oh, you got this in your book?
Yeah, it's a book that's read during the Seder that tells the story of Passover. The Hebrew word Haggadah means telling. And according to my Jewish learning, Haggadah date back to the Middle Ages. So Haggadah is a new thing. It's not a ancient thing. It's not biblical.
Oh,
So
okay.
all it is like the Seder. In Passover, like when they sit down and drink the wine and eat the lettuce and all that stuff. At
So you
Passover,
saying whatever
that's
I pull
made
out
up.
of here gonna be not good enough?
Hey, I am the Dagger
saying?
Squad.
Yeah,
I am
you
the
Dagger Squad. Okay, well we got work. Yeah, what about what I pull up out of here? See?
Oh man.
Yeah, you don't really know who you over here dealing
Who's
with.
that?
Huh?
Gary? Is that Gary Shaw's book?
Nah, not at all. Come on, I got work over here for you, boy.
He got the Hebrew
let's get in on this let's get in on this Passover. Nah, you
right, go
teaching?
ahead.
And no, actually you teaching and I'm learning, so I don't like to act like I got opposition when I'm really learning. So keep on building.
Yeah, the Passover. All right. So now, for those who know me from Facebook early days, there's a group that I have in Facebook called Hebrew Israelites versus Kemetic Science, right? In that group, you got like around 400 PDFs. There's a book called What Israel Owes Kemet, or What Israel Owes to Egypt. In that book, that's one of the books that made me research Passover, because in Egypt, they used to have something called what's called an apotropaic rite. And apotropaic is it's something designed to avert evil. And what the Egyptians used to do, my brother, I don't know if you're familiar with this, is put like an image of Bess on the houses to let the death angel pass over.
Mm-hmm.
So now you hear the word Passover, and the Egyptians used to do it. So they're saying that might have influenced the rituals of Passover. I don't know, because Canaan and Egypt, they go back and forth, so people influence one another.
Well, let me ask you a question along those lines before you continue. It might have influenced the tradition of it, or the initial, like I'm saying, do you think the initial occurrence is a real thing? Where would this tradition start from if that initial occurrence of the Pharaoh, or supposed to kill the kids, or whatever it was? You can explain it better than me. Told you I'm a one-day Hebrew. But what would the initial occurrence to spark the Passover have been, and did it not occur? Is that what you're saying?
As far as the Passover, when I used Richard Hess's book, and I used Daniel Fleming. These are two guys that I actually interviewed during February. And Richard Hess took Daniel Fleming's work. It's called Time at Emar. And Time at Emar breaks down the Passover and the unleavened bread celebration, and how it's celebrated and the date and time. As far as it being connected to Egypt and the story, I think that was later on, even after Elephantine time. Because at Elephantine time, if you read Al Cowdery's translation of the Elephantine papyri, he basically tells you they're celebrating Passover and it has nothing to do with the Exodus. It has nothing to do with Moses. So it's like a pre-biblical tradition of Passover. So this goes back to what I'm talking about with the Zuku festival and them celebrating unleavened bread in the Canaanite region. As far as it being attached to the story now of Exodus, that's later on. And that has to do with the story, the traditions that we find like in Manetho, or the tons of writings that they call anti-Semitic writing by the Greeks about where the Jews come from.
Well, it's interesting. Go ahead. I thought you were done. Keep going. So
yeah, I'm done. Go ahead.
No, I was saying it's interesting that your argument is strong, but it's normally based on traditional anomalies, why you don't deny the presence or the existence of Hebrews in Kemet all the way back far enough to, in 400 BC, be asking to rebuild a temple that has been destroyed already, that everybody knew at that time that they had in those places, in that area. So we know it don't take 100 years to build a temple, but we know you probably ain't building one in 1 year either. And so I'm asking, if we're willing to accept that, yeah, there might be some traditional anomalies. There even still might be a person who really was, in those times, a Hebrew, since we are acknowledging them from various attestations from the Shashu of Yahweh to these temples we're talking about in the Elephantine area, all the way up into other times. Then I'm saying, if if what you poking at are only the facts that like somebody forgot when to celebrate his tradition. I'm pretty sure it was Egyptian people who forgot when the Seb festival was, or didn't know when how you say New Year something Rimpet. I forgot how to say New Bow, but they didn't know exactly which season it might have been out of the 3 years. And so I do feel like what you're saying is formidable, but it's not poking at the fibers of the of our existence as Hebrews. Again, I'm a one-day Hebrew for anybody who just tuned in. Our existence as Hebrews in Kemet that has been such denied by those like y'all on the Amara Squad, the Dagger Squad, and the likes of you. But now you're sitting here acknowledging that with me. What's up with that?
I've never denied that Israelites exist as a people. I've never denied that. Just for the record.
Oh, we making
I
progress.
I just think the story is just fantastic foolishness. That's all. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people writing a story to make them feel worthy. It's all about the worship of Yahweh anyway. And you did point out something earlier when I just tuned in about them not being monotheistic originally, henotheistic. That's what Divine Prospect actually teaches. And I actually agree with you. But if you look at the Persian time period and the writings of Isaiah 45, you see the Persian influence at that time, where you see monotheism is being pushed in like Isaiah and different writings and the writings after. So it became a one God culture after the Persians took over. It's because the Persians would allow any culture that they took over to worship their God, but they had to worship their God like how they worship Ahura Mazda, which is one God. And that's how they influenced the world. Because
who was the Persians' god?
Ahura Mazda.
And that was what was that religion? Do you know the name of that religion?
Like the Zoroastrianism and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah, exactly. And so that was Zoroastrianism or whatever was monotheistic, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it was okay. That's very key for us to know, because obviously we looking at these Persians ruling Kemet, and I guess we saying the Jews were on some henotheistic stuff, but then they got these influences from the rulers who had monotheistic tradition going on. Was that safe to say?
Yeah, that's safe to say. But if you look in Isaiah also, you'll see that their Messiah is someone who is not a bloodline, who is Cyrus. And if you look in the Babylonian Chronicles, if you look at the Cyrus cylinder, they're calling him the Messiah too. They're calling him Prince of Peace. You know, so you see the Persian influence in the writings of the Bible. You see it in the writings of the Babylonian Chronicles. You see the Persian influence in, because Cyrus is now the savior. So that's why in the Bible, people might ask themselves, why is he called Mashiach in the Old Testament? He's supposed to be a bloodline of David. He's not, because he's the one that supposedly saved them from Babylon.
Do you believe Narmer existed?
I believe Narmer existed. What type of question is that?
Narmer from the
There's
Pharaoh.
There's over 120 attestations of Narmer inside and outside of Kemet and in the surrounding areas.
You want to take a bet on that?
Yes.
All right, how much? You
How
said
much you wanna bet?
120 attestations to
hold on.
Narmer.
I'll
We gotta be, before we take the bet.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by attestations? You feel me?
Like
Because he's written on hella kings list and hella things, but none of those are contemporaneous to when he lived. Just like we dealing with that with Abraham. I could give you way more attestations to Abraham if you want to deal with that. We're talking about attestations. Just real quick, attestations contemporaneous to when he lived. That's what I mean.
Let me make sure I understand your Brooklyn Magic accent right now. Hold on a second. My best friend's calling me. Hold on one second.
Yeah, so I'm playing Hebrew right now, and I'm saying to y'all who listening, he said he got 120 attestations to Narmer existing. All of that's cool. I understand that, but you don't got 120 attestations contemporaneous to when he lived. See? So you doing the same thing the Hebrews doing. You taking attestations from later and attributing them to him and saying they all was talking about him. I just dealt with this with somebody who just got through saying that they had sources that Narmer went back down in the in the Nubia and banged on the Nubians, but that has to be untrue because the only attestations contemporaneous to Narmer wasn't even in a language yet because we dealing with Old Kingdom Egyptian at that time. Old Kingdom Egyptian wasn't even a formed not Old Kingdom, proto-dynastic Medu Neter, which was not even a full script yet. So who said Narmer did what that was contemporaneous to when Narmer lived? The only thing we got from when Narmer lived is when the Narmer palette. You feel me? So that's Narmer Abraham. I want y'all to tell me, y'all forefather Narmer, I could give you way more info on Abraham than you can give me on Narmer. That's contemporary. Ooh.
Take that back. Take that back.
Take that back. I gotta take that back. I gotta take that back
real quick.
He only came off mute when I made that last mistake, though. I take the last mistake back, bro. I took it back. Everything I said up in there was solid.
All right, watch this. Watch this, family. Watch this. Oh, man. Hold on. I gotta log my boy in real quick on TeamViewer. Hold on.
See, I got him boxed up is what y'all really don't want to see. I asked a very simple question. How y'all gonna discredit Abraham and not discredit Narmer? How you ain't discrediting the Scorpion King? All these pseudo-Egyptians are supposed to have been there that people wrote about later. Manetho. Manetho was living at the time we was rebuilding our Hebrew temple down there with the Magi now. Say I'm lying, I'm flying. 100 years later. So tell me what you got besides one Narmer palette that actually say he existed. And it don't say he existed on that. It could have very well been a nursery rhyme or a fairy tale. It don't say nothing about existing on the Narmer palette.
Let me ask you a question. On the Narmer palette, what does it say about Narmer? Because I'm not really into the Egypt stuff. But I do have a catalog, a Narmer catalog with over 114 references to him, which might not be contemporary. But the catalog contains records for all known artifacts with inscriptions bearing the name of Narmer. Also incorporated into this database are inscriptions attributed to his reign, including several problematic inscriptions whose exact meaning and dating have yet to be positively determined. Each record in the catalog includes key information included dated by type, material, site, and depository, illustrations, drawings, and photographs, as well as an extensive bibliography of the inscription. The most well-known entries in the catalog are the Narmer palette and the Narmer mace head. Also included are much more recent discoveries, including unpublished inscriptions and recent reconstructions, such as Narmer boxes.
So those are the two, basically. The reason why they pointed out those two, because those are the only two contemporaneous to the time he lived. You feel me? Those are the only two that he would have actually could have seen with his eyes, basically. You know, everyone else, is people talking about him 100 years later and stuff. And so we got a lot of them. We don't got a lot of them for Abraham, right? But we got people talking about him just the same way as Narmer.
Who?
The Torah.
Please. The Torah. When was the Torah written?
I don't know when it was written, but we're gonna look. I'm gonna tell you what my research says as a Hebrew. The priestly tradition might arrive about 600 BC. Am I wrong?
Okay. Some of it.
The priestly tradition, yeah.
Okay. All what I'm gonna say to you is, it's obvious. Like after the 7th century, a lot of writing took place after that, right? But I will say this. Abraham is supposedly lived around 1800, between 2000 and 1800 BC, right? Okay. And for example, we can't really tell if Abraham is really a real person or he's just a what you call an eponymous ancestor, because he could be someone who was probably even a god. we don't know. But at this point, archaeologists and historians have basically given up. William Dever, who is a fundamentalist from the William Albright School, he says at this point, archaeologists have given up on trying to find the patriarchs as real persons. They look at them as eponymous ancestors.
Okay, well, that being said, we also know Egyptologists and Kemetologists have given up on looking for Osiris and Narmer.
Well,
we talk about the forefathers of traditions, correct?
No. Osiris is not considered a literal forefather.
I know, but let me ask you something. Did they look for?
Let me bring up this Narmer catalog.
Did they look for? Let me ask you a real quick question. Mm-hmm. Did archaeologists look for Osiris to see if he was real or not? You know about that, right? They actually looked for him the same way people look for Abraham, but they came to the conclusion that you said that this is a waste of time, that's not a real being. But you can even see archaeologists in the 80s and 90s talking about they found the tomb of Osiris. And so I'm only pushing this issue because us as Hebrews, we get so much slack about not being able to substantiate our progenitors. But when we look deep into Kemet, we find out it's the same thing with Narmer. We got one little palette, and you want to act like that's enough to say somebody exists? Again, I repeat, it don't say he existed on the palette. Let's get that clear. That could have been a movie scene. For all we know, it could have been ancient entertainment. It don't say this man existed. We just looking at a picture of a person, and I'm saying we looking at a picture of some person and some people walking on standards, and we taking that into the annals of archaeology as history. But note, what do they say the Narmer palette actually was? A makeup palette, right? They say it was made for disseminating makeup. You can look that up. So it wasn't actually an archaeological piece that they think we'd find thousands of years later and think the person on it was the king of everything. But see, I'm giving up too much Hebrew game right now. Somebody bring this argument back to me, I'm going to blow their ass up because I know the answers to this argument. All right? So don't think you're going to take my words and use them against me. Not you, Garfield. I'm talking about anybody listening. Going to be like, one day you said this. That's when I was a 24-hour Hebrew. But what you got to say to that? Y'all got to give us some credit. If y'all doing all this off of, it's the same thing with the Egyptians king list. Y'all got some people on there y'all really can't prove, and then we get to the people we could prove. You feel me?
Oh, okay. Actually, there's some stuff that Gunther Dreyer put out regarding Narmer. I'm not gonna say it right now in the air, but there's a lot of stuff here referring to Narmer.
Okay.
Contemporary.
Yeah, that's what we want to know. Us from pre-dynastic times.
Some Petrie stuff, some stuff from Rene Friedman from the British Museum, the Royal Museum, University of Pennsylvania. There's a lot of stuff here.
And how we know they're referring to Namor on those palettes? See, because all it say on
I can't read a text.
So you see a catfish on there? If you see the catfish, then we might know that they at least calling that person by the same thing. But anything else, if we don't see the catfish, we got to say it's conjecture. If we see the little Rosetta next to it, it would possibly be a sandal bearer to the previous king, because some of them got that little rosette flower next to them that let you know that they was about to be the king or something. But I don't think I think we almost ain't really like, if I was a Hebrew arguing this, I ain't got body yet. Abraham standing on the solid as ground as Narmer is. But one thing, y'all don't worship Narmer. That's the difference. You feel me? And that's where people be losing. Kemites don't worship Narmer or nothing. He's not. He just was a pharaoh. He could not exist. See, Abraham can't not exist. Is it
true that Narmer is not an Egyptian name? Is it true?
Well, I wouldn't know if that was true, but the only way we learned that, us Sarnam would probably know that's true, because I only studied the ancient Egyptian language. They study more other African languages. You see what I'm saying? And so I don't know. They say that's a loan word. Well, we got myrrh. Myrrh, I mean, if we want to try to break it down, myrrh, we know myrrh, love, and that, but I don't know nar. And then it was written as a catfish. So I really don't even know how they came to the conclusion. Narmer, bruh. I'm keeping it a buck. We read Metal Nature. All you see is a catfish up there. But that don't. How that say Normer? See, that's why I want people to answer some real ass questions. Cause I'm a Hebrew for a day. Ask these questions, Hebrews. How that say Normer? You gonna puzzle anybody who read Metal Nature.
Oh man.
But not the squad. Everybody else. Ask Jabari how that say Normer. Checkmate. What am I doing? I'm telling y'all this. We ain't never been. I don't even think you anti-Hebrew. You just more into the truth. And you see somebody, you feel me? You see somebody puzzled doing what they doing. I've been watching the Dagger Squad for a long time. Y'all wound up in the Bible and y'all wound up beating that up. I guess you took some affinity to it after dealing with it for so long. But we've been all around this globe with this information trying to, you know what I'm saying? And again, I wound up with the squad because they be telling the most truth. I never say everybody right. We all be having our disagreements. But right now, hey.
Yeah, and if they read your blog, they see who you beat up on the squad too.
Oh man, I done put handlebars on all them dudes y'all can't deal with. They my partners because I put manacles on them. You feel me? All the homies in the squad that y'all be all crying because y'all can't deal with Ujahu. Crying because y'all can't deal with Asar. But they're my brothers. I looked up to them so long because they used to beat me up like y'all, but I got him. But they don't really, they don't really be wanting to give it up to this day. They taking that back from me, so I ain't mad. But if you go back and listen to the blog talk, what you ain't agreeing on, Sheffrin, you better grab that link. You better grab that link.
Just a troublemaker. I ain't
So,
saying Sheffrin don't
if these is the YouTube street Sheffrin, then you looking out the YouTube window right now. Get on this block. Come outside. Don't be looking out the window. You feel me? Come get in these YouTube streets.
Look, I pressed the link. What's up? I ain't scared. Come on in, man.
Because Sheffrin gonna get beat all the way back to the pseudo killers. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Now I don't even know what he arguing.
That's his accent alone gonna let him get beat up. That's
He just saying he's not agreeing.
Accent.
Notice how he ain't even say nothing, but I'm not agreeing.
He's agreeing. Yep, that's what he do. That's what he do. That's what he do.
It's cool. It's cool. Hey, nah, but Dagger Swad, you ain't beat me on that yet. I gave you this temple and filet that you said we are. I mean, I keep saying filet. The Hebrew
you on that
temple.
Jabari shit. You on that Jabari pseudo shit.
But you ain't. Listen, let's keep this honest.
All right, let's keep it to the elephant team. Let's talk about elephant.
But first, you gotta deal with what else I established the point about the Abraham and the Normer stuff. You throwing that all the way out the window. How much more certain are you that Normer existed than you are that Abraham? Like if it was two buzzers in front of you, one was Normer, one was Abraham, you gonna click Normer?
I told you I have a whole catalog of all his stuff. It's just that I haven't really gone through it step by step and read it, but I have it. It's right here in front of me.
Okay, that's great. And then when you peruse it, you're gonna find out the only two things, really the two contemporaneous things to him, they might try to date some other shit, is gonna be the knife and the pallet. Everything else gonna be from later times, talking about a god that an ancestor.
I don't think anyone in their right mind would say that Narma and Abraham can equate, and the reason being is we know that Narma is a real person.
That's what I'm saying. You keep saying that, but I'm asking for the source on that, and that's not true. We don't know that, blood. We ain't found. Where's Narmer's mummy?
So we need a body to determine if somebody's real.
See, that's what I'm saying about Abraham and
right,
Jesus and all my Hebrew brothers.
How do you know your great grandmother existed?
Exactly. So now we make Garfield. Now we making some ground.
You use a methodology. I'm telling you, based on the contemporary accounts of Narma and based on the surrounding references of him, even if it's not while he was alive, it's basically talking about a real person over the years.
I understand. I hear what you're saying.
Although, because with historiography, when you look at 5,000 years and you look at historiography, you have to use a methodology. And the methodology is you have to go by step, and then you have to just basically rule out certain things.
Are you ready
Would
to get
this person?
You ready to get them handlebars put on you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Who told us his name was Narmer? Oh, here comes Sean P. Hold up. I'm letting you in, Sean B, but let me finish this quick build with Garfield, then we're going to introduce you and bring you on. Who told us his name was Narmer? I'm not asking that as a trick question because we don't all need to know everything to be right. Manito told us his name was Narmer. We got the first King's List from Manito. He was the one who did the translations from Medu Neter to English. And he said Narmer. Now we can read Medu Neter and all we see is a catfish. But we still saying Narmer. Okay, but let's get past that. Because Manito told us something else, and people don't like to address this. His King's List didn't start with Narmer. It started with Heru, Ra. It started with Ra, Heru, Aset, and Horus supposedly lived on the same exact King's List that Narmer come on. You feel me? And so I'm not saying we don't do ambush scholarship and all that. I want that to be understood that, okay, so now we saying the real humans start here on the list at Narmer and Ra and who else he said? Horus. He said this. Manito said this.
Let me throw a monkey wrench in all of this. How do you know Manito existed?
Oh, how do I know he existed?
Yeah.
I really don't know he existed. Actually, his texts don't even survive as a text, and that's another thing. His texts survive only in the refudiations of his text. So this is how I know he existed. Let me tell you, just to put handlebars on that. Because the opponents of him, we don't got his text. We only got the opponents of what he was saying text.
Which opponents do you have?
I think we got what's upon Apion against Apion.
That's Josephus.
I know, but what was that against? But what was he writing against?
He was writing against the people who was writing against the Jews.
And they was using what? Manito's work.
Manito.
Thank you. I know this game. They was using Manito. So look.
But that was almost 400 years later.
You're right. That was, but that wasn't the only other refudiation written to Manito. But what we got here now.
Hold on. Let's clear that point up real quickly here. Ain't nobody talk about Manito while he was alive. Ain't nobody knew him while he was alive that we have on record, right? But watch this. Watch this. We have somebody who talked about him almost 400 years later. Then we have Julius Africanus, and we have who do the King's List, and we have Eusebius who talks about it.
Why are you daggering yourself?
400 years.
Why are you daggering yourself?
I'm not daggering myself. What I'm saying to you is those people are talking about him years after, 400, 500, 600, 800 years after Manito supposedly lived.
Oh my God, you just daggered yourself. You want to show you why?
So now with Narmer, hold on. We have inscriptions after he lived.
He don't know why he daggered himself, y'all. Somebody in the audience tell me why Garfield just daggered himself. He just got through telling y'all the person who brought the first translated Egyptian's king list didn't exist. So do that help or hurt the Hebrews?
No, but the point of the matter is I'm not
dagger yourself. That helped the Hebrews. I'm a Hebrew right now. You forget.
But I'm not claiming Manito.
All right, what I'm saying is he wrote the Egyptian king list that you got the name Narmer off. And you just said he wasn't real. It don't come off nothing else. The name Narmer first initially come to us from Manito. But I
never said Manito. I asked you, how do we know he
exists? You forgot this.
I'm trying to throw it back on you. That's why I brought that up. How do you know he existed?
You forgot this, the Magi. I'm gonna take your word that he didn't exist because what he wrote was for Egyptian chronology more importantly than it is for Hebrew. You see what I mean? Manito presented the Egyptian kings list. It was Manito who coined the term dynasty to mean a ruling family. He did all of this in his work. And so we find refudiations to his work written by early Flavius Josephus, early Hebrew warrior scholars. You see what I'm saying? If he didn't exist, then how are we going to say the King's List is qualifiable? Oh, that boy got work. See, you get boxed up, bruh.
Watch you now. So what's the normal palette? We don't need him for the normal palette. Normal palette stands on its own.
I
What you
know,
saying,
but
my
that's what I'm
brother?
saying. We just got the.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
But the normal palette
It don't
stands on
say
its own.
Narmer on it. It say Catfish. That's what I'm trying to say. And so we was trying to
Okay.
figure out what the first king name was, and we go to Manito, and he say his name is Narmer. Then we find
I
the. You
got
see what
you,
I'm
I got
saying?
you, I got
And
you,
we
I got
find the
you.
Narmer palette, and we be like, "This is who he talking about."
So the
Again.
catfish. So he's really a catfish then. He
Well,
really
I don't.
exist.
He might be catfishing. I wouldn't say he don't exist. I'm just saying an argument could be mounted, right? An argument could be mounted for the Hebrews, but then anything I say won't get past the Amon-Ra squad. Like, we know how to dismantle these arguments, as I wouldn't even be putting them out there. We are doing good practice, and you must admit, I'm already tougher than Divine and all the other Hebrews you ever done had to dialogue with. I think I'm the #1 Hebrew right now. Like, I ain't heard nobody give you the work like this.
Smash.
Oh, yeah, my man is here. Peace. Let me let you get it in.
What up?
What's
Hey,
up, Sean P?
what up? What's going on? What up?
Are you mounting?
So
Before you speak, let me know. Could I put down my sword? Or are you about to mount a argument against me being a Hebrew?
No. I'm just asking a question.
Why you gonna come in here and ask? Why you gonna come in here and ask, Quincy? You gotta get some of the
Because it's
Let me ask you a
instrumental.
question, man. So
Y'all
is he
talking about
saying-
Norma's palette. You're
All right, the
talking
normal
about
palette.
Norma's
So the normal palette. Let me ask you this: the normal
Wait,
palette.
let him get his question off then, and save
Go ahead,
yours
go
though,
ahead, go ahead.
Garfield, and then let
Go
him get his
ahead.
question in.
All right. Okay. So how did they figure out on a Norma's palette that it actually does say Norma?
Bruh, I'm telling you just like this. It don't say Normer on the Normer palette. I'm not saying ask anybody in the Amon-Ra squad. Where? No, don't say do it. Say where do it say Normer. See?
So
I'm
what-
a Magi
what
Archer,
glyph-
arrows up.
So what glyph? Well, what Gardner code would be representative of a reference to Norma?
That's a
what
very
Gardner
good one.
codes?
All right, that's a very good one that almost cost me to share my screen while y'all still building. So what I'm going to do is go into the Gardner code and see what they call a catfish. If they call it a
Yeah.
Normer, that's just weak. You feel me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just
Yeah, yeah.
pseudo. Hold on, though. Let's see. I mean, I'm going to go on mute while y'all build or whatever.
All right.
Garfield, I want to hear what else you was about to interject, if you still can recall, Garfield.
Yeah, no, I was saying with the normal palette, we must could draw a conclusion that there's somebody on the palette. So it must be a reason. Must be a reason why you guys call it the normal palette. Must
All
be a
right.
reason.
All right, we about to look at
Mhm.
this.
Yeah, because what he's about to do is when he pull up his screen, right? When he go and he look at the Gardner codes, it's not just the catfish, it's the chisel too.
Okay, with the chisel being a myrrh,
So
and
you
a
got to
chisel?
look at the catfish and the chisel, and then you got to look at the Gardner codes for both, and then you'll be able to go back to the Norma's palette, and you should be able to see both. You should be able to see what he said, the catfish, and you should be able to see the chisel.
Man, that don't say no Norman.
But you also got to bear in mind that you have to look at it from the perspective of the Rebus principle.
Okay, yeah, I feel you on that. So fish cat or whatever. I mean,
So
the
so
reverse.
that's why.
Or,
But
or,
no. I mean, I think it's kind of lame just to say Norma, that way. But
that I
when
want
you're looking
somebody
at it
to
like
tell.
that, you got to identify it as such.
You
Let me see what
did.
they say in the chat.
You went through
Dasher
Ujahu's
Rail,
work. I mean, I'm tripping. My mic was
So what you
muted.
say?
So you went
Yeah,
through
yeah.
Ujahu's course, correct?
Yeah.
How did y'all ever deal with the Norman palette in there? I know it's because it's old prehistoric, so it would not be. Y'all dealt with it?
We didn't really spend a lot of time talking about it or like building on the Norma's palette because we were so far into all the other texts. But I don't remember us doing an extensive anything on the Norma's palette.
All right, well, the reason why I asked is because I don't see that same prehistoric catfish in Gardner's sign list. He had a and we could look at these fish. See, this is a now tilapia. I mean, let's keep it a buck. Like, they know what they dealing with on here. That's the barb. Let's find that. See, there go that catfish. That's that Narmer catfish. Why don't got no phonetic quality next to it? See what I'm talking about? They got all the phonetic qualities next to these. They didn't put nar or mer next to this catfish on the Gardner sign list. Now we could go look at the mace, which should be under weapons of war, right? We clearly showing that Narmer don't say Narmer on them. This is what I'm doing. I'm showing it don't say Narmer on the Narmer palette, and then I'm showing you that the person who said it said Narmer. Garfield just fought me and said it don't even exist. So if Manito don't even exist, he the one who said Narmer was Narmer. That's what I'm using that against the Egyptians. That's not against Garfield in any way. I'm just being a Hebrew for the day.
I never.
All right, so do me a favor.
Do
me a favor. Go to seshmetalnature.com, right? And go to when you get to the website.
How you spell Metal Netter on there? Y'all do abbreviations or?
No. It's with the E's in it. MEDEW.
MEDEW. All right. EW. NETER.
Yep. CHER. When you get there, go to resources.
What did I do wrong? I put SESHMEDEWNET.
No, you gotta put the www dot in front of it.
Oh, I'm puzzled. Yeah, cause you feel me. That's the old way, bro. Step y'all down.
No. You gotta put THETCHER.
Oh.
No. Yeah.
Oh, TCH.
NET. I see what you did. Yeah, CHER.
All right. Yeah, I don't think you need the www dot. Look, it's gonna go there, cause that's old school. But so now I'm looking at what? Oh, I'm not sharing the screen. Let me make sure the people can see that.
Yeah.
The people ain't seeing that. Let me look and see.
See it on YouTube land. We don't see it. Me and Garfield don't see it.
Oh yeah, cause my Zoom ain't really hooked up right. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm following you. So go.
You see what a three? You see what a three dots at? Okay, click on the three dots. You'll see resources. Resources will take you to the sign list.
Okay, sign list.
Yeah, resources. Yeah, resources take you to sign list. Go down to K, which will be your fish and parts of a fish.
All right.
And then go all the way down to the bottom.
If y'all wrote Mur in here, I'm not messing with y'all. See? Nah. Come on now. I'm going to have to pull out Ujahu. Hold on, because I'm from the Amara squad.
Hold up now.
Look, hold on. Hey, Garfield, where you go? I know my dude 100. I'm just going to keep it a buck. Let me say something to the listening audience. I respect and I know Ujahu. I know he didn't just write this on here because... Nah, he didn't do that. He got the source that could prove that this catfish, but he didn't box himself in right here, boy. So I'm a Hebrew for a day. And I be coming, bro. Hey, my daughter back. I be coming, bro. So I'm coming, Jew. Why does this say this here? I got hella sources. He gonna say, well, you probably didn't go look in your real gardener book. You keep looking on Wiki. That's how you gonna beat me up. Because somebody got me for I think it's on my RV. Because I just think it's on I can't find my real actual. Do you got the gardener book, the hard copy?
No, I don't have the hard copy of the book. But if you have, but also you got the German dictionary though, don't you? German dictionary look up.
Nah, man, I'm gonna keep note of this. I do not have which German dictionary? I got right here. I got
the one Asar always using.
Can I look in here real quick?
Attestations.
You think it's in here?
Probably could check.
So what's the problem with what he did?
Because what we just seen was this is Wiki, so I would say Ujahu's. I'm just giving my Amara squad credit. I know for a fact Ujahu's research is way deeper in depth than Wiki, but we clearly see on the Gardner sign list, it ain't got NAR right here. But right here, so we saying he wrote this in there. But I'm not saying that. I'll never make an accusation like that because I know his research is just better than the wiki people. You feel me? See, this is what I'm saying. If you go to the same sign, K8, on the Garden of Sign list, I told you I'm a Hebrew for a day. This that work y'all would be getting if I stayed one. I'll be all in y'all websites like, hold on, why that don't say catfish? If we go to K8, this is what I'm trying to show you. But the answer is Ujahu is a better researcher than the people on Wiki, and I'm giving y'all the truth. But what the argument one would mount is what I'm trying to show you when I get down to the fish and their animals. But they making me go the long way, so I'm gonna go back real quick and go to right here. I clicked it, K, but it didn't go to K. See, it's not going to K, so I just got to do the long way and get down to K. So I can show y'all when we get to that catfish, they clearly saying they ain't got the phonemes or they ain't got the sounds worked out for it. But you go to Ujahu page and the sounds is worked out for it. Not magically, but because he got better research than the wiki people. Or whatever. But for my
I
Hebrew,
don't think that wiki page is updated though.
But updated how long? Norman been around for hundreds of thousands of years.
No. I'm just saying in general, because you have to think about it. Like, remember, there was so many signs at first, and then over time the signs grew. But that didn't have anything to do with normal sign.
All right, here we go.
I'm just saying in general, but I don't think that they have all the. It might be missing hieroglyphs.
All right, I feel you. No, it's missing a lot, and I'm not really a Hebrew, and I really know Ujahu 100. But to make my point, and I really do believe this point, this ain't fake. I'm talking about information I know. There's two things contemporaneous to Narmer's time that they say is the Narmer palette and is that knife. Then we get his name from Manetho, who didn't live during this time period, and we arrived at this Nar from his reading of the Medu Neter. So if Ujahu is agreeing with the way that Manetho, who probably didn't even exist, says Garfield, read the Medu Neter.
I never said that. I asked you to prove it, man. Stop misquoting me.
I didn't mean to. What did you say then?
I said, how do you know Manetho existed?
Oh, okay, so he questioned his existence, right? Is that more accurate?
I asked you that.
No, you questioned you questioned his existence.
I'm asking you because since you're saying that Narmer we don't have his body, I'm using the same example. I want you to prove how you would prove Manetho existed.
Again. So if his work survived only as a work somebody wrote under a pseudonym, like his work could have been a work somebody else wrote under a pseudonym, right? But people, again, the reason why, and I'm just looking for these K's, y'all, in this catfish again. The reason, and then they don't got no phonetic quality on here is what I'm saying, but it got a phonetic quality on Ujahu's website. So Ujahu's website is better than Wiki, but I need to ask him what source you used to come up with that phonetic quality besides Manetho and all these other things. You see what I'm saying? Because now this is what I'm saying. And use your logic in the audience. We got books where the Jews are vehemently writing against what Manetho said. Okay? They like, oh man, that dude tripping. Let me explain away what he's saying. But we saying the person who said it didn't exist. You see how problematic that is? We don't find no people saying, oh man, Norma said this, let me refute it. But we actually find people refuting the works. So that means the works survived until the time that the guy refuted it. At very least. So maybe someone wrote something for a guy named Manetho under a pseudonym, a fake name, and they were somebody else and then he couldn't exist. But if only way we learn about him is by people refuting his work, what logical stance do we have to say he didn't exist?
I never said he didn't exist. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving you my argument back, and it came so strong that it felt like it put some conviction on you to explain your stance. You feel me? Yeah, because I'm telling the truth. Look, That's a good argument I just mounted. You feel what I'm saying? I think we lost my brother's phone. Might have went. Oh yeah, no,
Hold
we
on
didn't
there.
lose him.
Norma, the Sarek from hold on there. Can I show an image? Damn, I can't share my image.
I'm supposed to
trying to
lose.
pull him
Look,
up.
here's just for anybody listening. He's supposed to share his image. You will be able to share your image. Why can't you? Because I'm going to make it. I think they could see. Let me see what they can see. I got to open back up the Zoom. There go to Zoom. Now they can see. So if you share your screen, you should be allowed to. Now listen, everybody, get the context of what we doing. This is how we grinded out the Amara squad, by having these type of dialogues and debates amongst ourselves to see who could actually, you see what I'm saying, who could actually spit that game or who really got that info. This is not, so don't be wanting to fight when we coming against your information, because we grind our acts amongst each other to make sure we solid. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And I'm going to ask Ujahu for the answer to that, and he going to have it. Because he's not no pseudo. And if, you know what I'm saying? And if he arrived at that from the conclusions of the knowledge that he has, then that's what that'll be. But I'm still saying Abraham and Norma is about equal in how many, how real they could have had been. If y'all want to take Abraham from me as a Hebrew, then I could take Norman from y'all.
Well, you could take Norma all you want, because ain't nobody praying about Norma being the original man and we all stem from him and he's the father of all human beings and all that stuff. Nah, we don't do that.
Well, that was some of our other Hebrews who don't understand the tradition as well as I do, who makes that error. But I don't do that either, my good brother. We just know, see? We just know Abraham to be one of the ones who El Shaddai, the mother goddess, came to when giving out her first fertility blessing so that our communities could multiply fruitfully. You see? El Shaddai, the mother goddess. We were still venerating the mother goddess while y'all relegated the woman and took her off the throne.
What changed your position of going from worshiping the mother goddess to he-man woman haters worship?
Oh, who did that? When we start doing that? Love you too. I'll see y'all in a minute. How long you been here for? Why you didn't tell? Say something. All right, is Laney Lyric downstairs? Yeah. All right. Hold on, I'm about to tell my daughter's bye real quick. Hold on.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, well, what y'all was, what was that? I'll be back for that last question in a second, because I just want to say peace. I do want to know that question so I can think about it while I'm downstairs. So what'd you say? What'd you say? All right, I'll be back. I'll be back.
All right. That was a good one.
It said host disabled, I can't share. Yeah, I got a bunch of Norma images, man, that they have. I told them.
Yeah, you got to turn the host on.
So, I mean, I don't really want to share this because I really look into this. We got a lot of Norma stuff here. Oh, man.
Yeah, I got what I get.
So what does it say on the Norma palette, though? What does it say on it? And
it say a bunch of stuff on there, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What it say about
them symbols, they mean something. It don't just not mean anything. You know what I mean? But even for its use, you have to remember, like, we got a hotel. Well, there's a hotel style like makeup thing, and it has Meta Natural on it. And that's just basically a greeting, but you have certain stuff with those where you could put your look, makeup in or makeup jars, but it's just how creative they were. But I mean, it was to pay homage though. That's how you get what you get. But I don't know.
I found a Narma ivory cylinder, and it says it's dated to his dynasty, and it was found in Hierakonpolis or whatever, however y'all pronounce that word. It's in the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford, and this image is part of what is attached. It is more like a handle for a small object. So he's on this. Okay.
We're gonna look up Norma.
Oh man.
So
Ain't
what
that
y'all
time
was
to
just
do all
building
this,
on
man.
real quick? Fill me in.
We were talking about normal, what the palette,
Juggy Bruce.
what's actually being said on the palette or is used. I'm trying to get my other laptop open. It's more slow. That's why I got this Mac.
So for the Hebrews tonight, for my brother Hebrews, I didn't establish, I didn't got him to admit that we was rebuilding the temple to Yah. A lot of people say we didn't exist. But now they saying we was rebuilding our temple to Yah about 500 BC down in Elephantine, huh? Then we talk about people say Abraham didn't exist, but when I start poking holes in Norman, we find out he probably didn't even exist, and the person who said that he existed probably didn't even exist. Manito. See? But the difference is, we don't think Norman know God. Oh, I can't go back to Kimmy right now. I gotta stay Hebrew. I gotta stay Hebrew real quick. I don't want to show him the answers in the back of the book.
I said that earlier anyway. I did say that earlier.
Hey, so Smash.
Yeah.
So if the Hebrews initially, I'm gonna ask you again. So if the Hebrews initially were worshiping the mother goddess, at what point in time in history did they become the he-man woman haters and start worshiping man?
Well, see, I
A
think
male deity.
I think it was a little bit after our interactions with Kemet. Because once we got down to Kemet, the patriarchy was already installed. But when I told you, when they told Abraham to go to Kemet, who was it? It was El Shaddai. The mother goddess told him. Yahweh had not appeared yet. It was Yahweh who came in. Again, I believe in this tradition henotheistically. Yahweh was one of the younger sons of the Elohim who in Deuteronomy 32, 8 and 2
Verse 8 and
handed out
9.
the earth. So he was the youngest brother. And the Bible is about him getting his inheritance, his people who was called Israel. So when Abraham, before all that happened, Yahweh never came to, yo.
So you
Abraham
assimilated into
never met
Egyptian
Yahweh.
culture. Okay, so you assimilated into Egyptian culture to abandon your own worship of a female deity to accept a male deity. That goes against your
Not
practices.
necessarily, because it was the female deity who told me to go to Kemet. Read my tradition. You see, when Abraham got told,
What made you circumcised?
all right, we're gonna get into that. But on the real, it might have been some stuff we seen in Egypt, because the tradition was going on in Egypt by the time I got there. Abraham got there.
You got circumcised when you got out.
He might have, but I mean, we can't claim. We definitely know we got a covenant of circumcision, and we find circumcision at about the same time in the tomb of Ankh-Mahor. You feel me? Who was a royal in Kemet. So I'm not one of the traditional Hebrews. It's harder to deal with me because maybe we got that from Kemet. Because here's the thing, it was El Shaddai, like I'm saying, the mother goddess who came to Abraham and said go to Egypt. It wasn't Yahweh. Yahweh even say that.
Let me ask you a question, right? Sean, are you done questioning? Because I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a question for you. You got your Bible in front of you?
Who is that writing that silly stuff in the thing? Where my moderators at? Somebody called Adolf Hitler. Why they even here? I'm about to make somebody else a moderator real quick just so they could give somebody the book.
Yeah, give it to Tamika real quick.
Oh, yeah, they got him up out of here. Hold on, get him up out of here.
Nah, I did. I got him up out of there.
Yeah, okay. We just want to report him, too, just to get him up out of here, since you talking about Hitler. We're going to do the white thing on you, boy. You just got reported. So in the Nile Valley, yeah, that's how I go down. What? Please
What
be able to...
What tribe are you representing, by the way?
The Hebrew archers.
No. What tribe? What tribe?
Are you trying to box me in, bro?
I'm going to get him real good right now.
See,
What tribe are you trying to represent? What tribe
I don't do the 12 tribes. See, I'm a different type of Hebrew.
I'm not saying that, but are you
saying
from
12
Judah?
tribes.
Are you from Ephraim?
I'm going to tell you like this. I don't really believe that my Hebrew brothers need to be taking that so seriously like that, to look like you could really know which tribe. It's just like African Americans. What tribe are you from in America?
Do you believe in the Exodus tradition? Do you believe that the Exodus happened?
Oh, you trying to box me up. You know what? I could argue some Exodus right now. Let's do it. What's up?
All right. So let's turn your Bible to Genesis 38 real quick.
All right, let me get there. You go ahead and I'm catching up with you. You there already? You there already?
Yeah, I'm right
Let
here.
me see if I can share it on the screen. I got so many screens open. Now I'm gonna minimize the Zoom again. Genesis 38. What we talking about? Judah and Tamar?
Yeah, Judah and Tamar. Right. Now let me ask you a question, right?
Uh-huh.
Hold on there 1 second.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm from Judah. That's just what the other Hebrews say.
Oh, you don't know if you're from Judah. All right, cool. I'm
Keep
gonna
going,
let it.
though.
I'm
Keep
gonna let
yeah.
you slide. I'm gonna let it slide.
Yeah, see, I had to
Let
get
it
out of that one as soon as I seen it on the screen. Because I could just be a Canaanite Hebrew, right? That just was a Canaanite. They tried to kill my people. And I'm like, forget it, I'm with y'all. You feel me? Like, I don't see myself getting dismantled as no Hebrew by none of this stuff y'all got, bro. Come on.
All right.
Come on, well, you ain't saying nothing.
No, you see, because you done say you don't follow the Exodus tradition, you don't want to get boxed in.
All right,
So
I'll do the Exodus with you just for the. We got led. Let me tell you something from my tradition. I know that Kemet River run from south to north. I know that when Moses' mama, it all makes sense with Elephantine. That's the reason why we was down there past Kemet. You want to know why? It's because if a woman was allowed to put a baby in a river that flowed from south to north, in order for that baby to arrive in Egypt, where did she have to be? South of
north.
Egypt, correct?
Oh, south. Okay.
Yeah, because the river runs south to north. You see?
So y'all ain't get that from the Babylonian tradition, from Sargon. Y'all ain't get that from that tradition, right?
What are you trying to say? So you could put your baby in the Tigris and the Euphrates and then wind up in Kemet?
No, I'm telling you, but the fact of the matter is that's in the tradition of Sargon. Sargon's story, which is 2,200 years or almost 1,000 years before Moses' story, was he was also put in a river. And not only him, but other people in the surrounding regions. There's a Hittite tradition. There are different traditions.
I can explain that to you. If we look into ancient orphanage and the tradition of ancient orphanage, and even how you would enter the royal, they have what's called a royal orphanage in Kemet. Okay, now and we know what it takes to be an orphan: no mother, no father, abandoning children. You know how if we watch Tupac movie, Brenda had a baby, they put the baby in where? The trash can, right? It was symbolic with abandonment of that child. In ancient times, placing a baby in a river is synonymous with abandonment of a child. They're not necessarily saying these things like transpired. We know they allegories, but they saying just like Brenda had a baby. We know again. It's synonymous, so we can find these things running throughout our culture, whether or not it existed. But one of the keys that I wanted to point out from our perspective, we said the baby wound up in Kemet, which actually has royal nurseries. A child of the royal nursery is called Kared Incap. Okay, there was one child of the royal nursery who became to be the head of the house of mysteries. And he was a divine scribe, and his name was Amos. But it's not one of, it's not that. But I'm giving an instance that you could enter as a child of the royal nursery and then rise up to prominence in Kemet in real life. So if my story is off that my people told back in the day, why do we see reflections of what they said happened in the real Kemetic officialdom? They do have a royal nursery to deal with children who were abandoned. And just like I brought the analogy between Brenda and the baby, how traditionally we know if they say a baby in the trash can, it's just the baby didn't always was really in the trash can. Sometimes I'll give you a better one. They say they left the baby at my doorsteps. Well, the baby wasn't really always left at the doorstep. Sometimes it might have been on the grass. Sometimes they might have knocked and put it in your hands. But for abandonment, we use things like baby and doorsteps, when the ancient thing was baby and river. So that's why you will find that in the story of Sargon and all these other people. I don't want to give them too much work, but I'm putting handlebars on you, bruh. Now you're going to hear some people saying this back to you, and you're going to be saying, you just said what Magi said. I know you ain't running. Did he run?
What am I running for? I'm just sitting there laughing. I'm like, this nigga just made up a whole. I'm gonna do like you just made that up.
Well, all
That
right.
ain't
What I
happening.
make it? Tell me the part I made up, and let's deal with it.
You saying that the royal, but are you saying that so you're basically saying that the stories come from Kemet? Then that's what you're saying. The Bible stories coming from Kemet, and that traditions that you find in Kemet. So if you find a tradition in Kemet, that ain't got nothing to do with the Bible.
I feel you. I agree with that.
Ain't got nothing to do with that. But let me say this though. Let me say this to all that you're saying. Your defense of the Bible and saying that these stories you find them in Kemet, there are royal stories that are allegorical stories, which I point out in my book. You know, that the bird story and all that stuff. We know that the Moses story is written about all throughout the ancient Near East and Southern Europe. You find these traditions. The point is, I even invented my own little argument called stories have no borders. So instead of we running around saying people copy people, I'm just saying it's because of syncretism. You know, people hear stories and they just repeat it in their traditions. What I will say though, as far as you're concerned, is I don't think your Exodus story is a legitimate story to even celebrate, because I don't have any clues that the story as how it's written was even taught in Israel at all until after the Babylonian exile. There is no evidence of this story being taught.
Well,
I mean,
enlighten
picture your people in Elephantine celebrating the Exodus
Let me enlighten
while
you
they're in Kemet. Can you show me this Exodus tradition that's written in Exodus being followed before the Babylonian exile?
Well, what I can do is offer you a different perspective on how to look at the Exodus. It is because in y'all attempts to box us up at Hebrews, y'all act like we can only assess the Exodus literally. But what if I understand these texts allegorically? And what if a leave up out of Egypt was for us to get on our own feet as a nation? What if this story was told allegorically so that our people, my nation, Israel, could go live in the wilderness for 40 days or for 40 years or however long, because Yahweh was a wilderness God, correct? And what did Yahweh do in the wilderness after we left up out of Kemet? He bestowed us with the laws, correct? And so what if this allegory was written only to say, we left up out of Egypt from the support systems that our forefathers once had to lean on for food, for knowledge, and for tradition and for shelter. Now we are on an exodus from Egypt, a metaphysical exodus from Egypt, okay, into our own sound ground, to stand on our own feet and to get out of all these tents that we've been living in, to set up us a city somewhere.
So Magi, you Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine now?
Oh, hold on, I didn't go that far. I was doing
Absolutely.
way better than that.
No,
No.
I'm about to beat.
Let me
him up
ask you a
right now.
question. You trying to
Nah,
put what
finish
I
up,
just
finish
said
up,
on
finish
Bobby
up.
Hemmett and Phil Valentine? I can't.
Nah,
I didn't go that far.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. 'Cause you
But
said
feel me though.
metaphysical.
Feel what I
you say?
just said, and I'm really a Hebrew. I think I just said some good shit. Why won't you let us look at our Exodus as an allegory?
You can look at it as allegory, but will you admit that it's just allegorical instead of mentally and physically trying to act like it actually existed?
Let me say a good answer to that. Moses to me is what Heru is to you. You don't need him to have existed, now do you? Or not even you in particular.
So
you do. But you do, though.
Hold on.
Historically, you do.
Historically, other Hebrews did. But a Hebrew under the right knowledge and proper understanding don't.
So what is the purpose of your system? Because your whole system of belief is based off of Moses. The three main holidays: Passover, Sukkot,
the whole
and
let you finish.
Going up to the for him receiving the commandments for the Passover and the Sukkot is the three main holidays that you have. So you're
Somebody
saying
asking you to
that
fight back, first of all. Let me just let you know how it's looking to people in the crowd. They say, Garfield, fight back. So you better step it
Fight
up,
back
bro.
what?
Come on.
I'm not fighting about nothing.
Nah,
But
fight back.
the point is though, if you're saying that you don't need to, they don't need to be, they need to be, they could be allegories and you just use them for certain purposes. That's basically what academia is saying as far as the Babylonian exile, and that's when it was written. It was written as an inspiration for the folks that lived there to say that look what God did for us before as inspiration. But the people who believe this believe Moses existed. You have to, for you to be a Jew, you have to believe that he took you out of Egypt. That is the purpose of the Exodus. So for you to say that he don't exist, you are a new breed. You're a neo Israelite.
I explained to you why. I do believe he took me out of Egypt.
You're a new age. Hold on. You're a new age Israelite. So what you're doing now is trying to make up a logical excuse for a religion that is actually the mother and father of Islam and Christianity by saying, oh, Moses don't exist. Picture a Muslim saying Moses don't exist, or a Christian. Because without Moses, you don't have a Jesus. It don't make sense.
Well, maybe I've been brought to the world to shed the light of the truth of the situation, because if we understand Moses as allegory, it's nothing that you can say. Moses did bring me up out of Egypt. Me and my people now standing on our feet. We run the world. The Hebrews, let's keep it real. You want to say those white Hebrews is doing it? Okay, cool. But so what? They under the same tradition. I don't care what y'all say. I'm being the new Hebrew right now, and I'm keeping it a buck. Even if they pseudo, or if they not, if they Ashkenazi, if they whatever, our tradition still running things. So when we came up out of Egypt, it could be allegorically, because we don't now have to depend on that nation for food.
You know what? Let me switch this up a little bit. I've had enough of this.
Okay.
Let me switch this up a little bit.
He's like, I've had enough of this.
I've had enough of this.
Let's see where it go.
Hold on a second. Let me actually go on my files. I'm actually on my computer. Let me go on my files real quick.
While you doing that, let me break something down to dagger y'all up some more. My eye ain't real. My aunt ain't never lived. But that's the whole basis to the Egyptian spiritual system.
She sure didn't.
Thank you.
She didn't. She ain't real.
And if she did exist, she existed as a Nubian, a foreigner to Kemet, because she got the ostrich feather on her head.
Uh-oh.
Let me catch him real quick.
So if my aunt didn't exist, which is the basis to the whole Kemetic spiritual system, why do anything have to had existed in ours?
Okay, you said the mother, what do you call her?
My?
No, he talk about the lady with the big breasts.
That's I call her Nana, but they say that's the Venus figurine, so at least calling her that would be more appropriate, because we know it ain't no damn Venus.
All right. So if we look in the Bible, right, and we look at circumcision and different rituals that's done in the Old Testament, in Genesis, right? I want to ask you, what is the purpose of the Yarek oath in Genesis, in for Jacob, for Joseph, and for Abraham to reach under a man's thighs, which is actually a euphemism for grabbing his balls as an oath? I want to know, what was the purpose for you doing that as a Jew or an Israelite? That's how I know it ain't no African religion. I don't want nobody attaching this.
You're gonna try to really shit. Beat me up, dude.
So I'm asking you a question now. Genesis 24, Genesis 47,
all right, let's go.
And when Joseph, Abraham, and Jacob was reaching on the man's balls to catch them and say, "Hey, you know what? You
Let's
can't
read
run."
that and see if you got right knowledge, or if you just doing some bad knowledge. Let's go in. Where does it say that on this verse? I'm at Genesis 24.
All right, so let me get the scriptures for you.
Yeah, because he's gonna be saying this stuff, and I bet you it don't be reading like that once we go into the text, into the Hebrew. So let's go. Because the God Almighty didn't do that.
Yeah, all right. Let's go to Genesis 24, verse 2 to 4.
2 to 4.
And also see verse 9. Mm-hmm.
So, and Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house that ruled over all the land he had, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh. Oh my God! Let me click off.
Don't stop. Keep reading.
So this the Dagger Squad. Hold on, I want to see first what you doing. eldest servant of his house that ruled over that he put, I pray thee, thy hand under thy thigh. Hold on, man. Yarik. What's the Yarik? We got to see what this Yarik is. Oh, man. This is going to be a metaphor for something else, bro.
Yeah, it's a euphemism for the male genitalia. It's just like they don't use the word pussy. They don't use the word pussy in the Bible.
Hold on. Your side, your shaft, your loins, your body. Yarik, your thigh. Shoulders, legs, hips, thigh. Did it say inner thigh?
Under. You can't go under. It says under.
Hold
under.
on, man.
Under,
What is
under,
this? I
under.
never read this part as a Hebrew.
All right, let's get off of this. Let's get off of this.
Yeah, you wrong for this. But hold on. Let me
get
read this. And the servant put his hand under his thigh. Let's see what? No, I'm about to explain it. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abram, his master, and swore to him concerning the matter. Huh? That mean he ain't gonna say nothing, huh?
It's a secret. Yeah.
Yeah.
I grab your thigh.
And swore to him concerning.
Jonathan Owens. I'm gonna call you Jonathan Owens, right?
I'm about to
I ain't
convert.
gonna call you Bad Jack.
I'm about to convert. I'm about to convert. Hold on. And when he said, and when he saw that he prevailed, hold on, nah. You asking me a question because I'm gonna get to the truth of the matter. I think.
But the truth is the truth. That is the truth. It's an oath.
Hold on, because it says, and when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. Nah, man. Hold on. They just saying he dislocated his thigh.
He pulling his balls out.
Hey,
man.
how you dislocate your thigh, though?
Oh, man. I'm telling you, bro, it's a euphemism, man.
Man, you wrong for this. I was about to be Hebrew, man. You just, hold on. Nah, man, this is a misreading. You mad because you got me.
Yo, let me ask you a question, man. When, as a Hebrew, did you do this oath?
Nah, man, come on.
When did you do it? I want to know when you did that,
It don't say nowhere
man.
in here I got to do this.
Oh, come on, man. Don't you want to be like your father, Abraham?
Let me say something. I just
Don't
told you
be
Father
like
Abraham
Jacob?
could have been an
Don't you
allegory.
want to be Jacob?
Now
Don't
we
you
about to
wanna
go
be
in.
Joseph?
Who wrote Genesis?
Man.
Who wrote Genesis?
Man. Well, we don't know who directly wrote it, but we know it's from a priestly writer. We know it's from the Elohist, the priestly writer. And we also know, well, it's not from the Deuteronomy. They ain't got nothing to do with it. And we also have today what they call a supplemental hypothesis, which is to help out the documentary hypothesis because there's so much holes in it. But at the end of the day, we know what time period it's written by based on what we know in history. And we
So
can
let me
align
say
up with
something.
history. But go ahead.
So, bruh, Abraham didn't write this?
Oh, what are you talking about? Hold on.
This ain't no primary. This is not a primary account.
Hold up. You're not an Amira squad now. You're a Hebrew. You can't use methodology.
All right,
Get out of
hold
here.
on. Hold on.
Go back to being a Jew.
But let's keep it a buck. Who does the documentation hypothesis say produced Genesis? See, I got the questions. I'm a real Hebrew, bruh. Was it produced by the priestly tradition, by the Elohist, or by the Yahwist? It was produced by Elohists, remember?
Yes, well, some of it was, not all of it. Some of it was.
Okay, well, the majority, well, basically they talking about and El so much they don't say nothing about Yahweh, so they conclude.
But remember when the tribes are born, some of the tribes are born from the Elohists, and some are born from the Yahwists.
So let's start.
And the Yahwist tribes are the later tribes, are the tribes that surround Judah. So you're talking about Judah, Simeon, Levi, Reuben. Those tribes are always like grouped together because those are the tribes that are considered more of nearer to where Judah is as far as location. So now you understand where that's coming from. So that's the Yahwist angle.
But who do we worship as Hebrews?
Well, right now, Yah, you're worshiping Yah.
And who wrote that tradition? You said Elohist, correct?
You mean the tradition of putting? You
This
mean
the
the
thigh,
thighs?
yeah, grabbing the thigh.
I'm not sure. I have to look into it.
It was actually promulgated by Eloist. In the documentation hypothesis, we got all the times they using El and Elohim in Genesis got them lumped into the group of Eloists. We got, I think they said Deuteronomy and Leviticus comes up out of the priestly tradition, and one other thing. But the Yahwist, okay, those who believed and followed Yahweh, the Almighty God, didn't have nothing to do with this. As a matter of fact, Yahweh, let's keep it a buck. Yahweh don't even show his face in this whole book. And if he do, show me where he do. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean Genesis 18, the Lord.
All
I
right,
think
well,
the
I
Lord-
said
the
that
Lord-
wrong.
Yeah,
He don't
Genesis
show his
18.
face to. No, that's fake. I know, because that's why they keep messing up. Because these priests messed up because they said he didn't, but when you read it, he did. You feel me? They say
Oh,
he
man.
didn't show his face, but if you read it, they keep putting Lord Yahweh in there. That's the translators, bro. I'm a real Hebrew. I'm not giving you that translator work. I'm not giving you that. Yahweh clearly say he didn't appear unto Moses and them, right? And to Abraham.
All right, so who is in Genesis 18? Who is the Lord in Genesis 18?
That's a mistranslation. We about to go there. It's not a mistranslation. I'm gonna say it's an amalgamation. It's a henotheistic amalgamation, bruh. And the Lord appeared. Now we did my Bible code, right? Do anybody remember the Bible code? Who is capital L, capital O, capital RD? Before we even click tools, if we know my Bible code, we would know that's supposed to be Yahweh. All right, let's see if I'm wrong.
And the Lord, there you go, right there.
I passed it.
It's right there. You're good.
At
You
the
got
top, at the top, yeah. Yeah, Yahweh, Jehovah, Yahweh. And so, even though they say...
but he's appearing there. This is just to show you what the Yahwist did. The Yahwist in rewriting the Bible. This is a very good lesson you're teaching right now, because the reason why Yahweh is there, because you see what you're saying is true. And for those who don't know, I agree with him when he talks about Yahweh, right? But listen, and that's being serious right now, outside of what we're doing.
Yeah.
But the issue now is we know he appeared to Moses in Exodus 6, right? That's for the first time. But he appears in Genesis 18 allegedly because Genesis is supposedly before Exodus, and the time it's written for is written before Exodus 6. So when you tell somebody, well, Yahweh only appeared, I say, well, what about Genesis 18? Yahweh's right there. He appeared to Abraham. But the issue is, this is what the writer is doing. The writer is changing the game. The Yahweh is changing the game. So what they do is they add it on. As he said, the henotheistic mentality, they added on to the story before to make Yahweh the central God, because Yahweh was not the main God, because Deuteronomy 32:8 actually kills the Hebrews.
You're right. We agree so much. Keep going. Deuteronomy 32, 8, 9. You said?
Yeah, it kills them, because now you have Yahweh being the God for Israel. That's the main part of why I use that verse, because Yahweh is given to Israel, not to anybody else, only to Israel. This again is the Yahweh injecting himself into the text. This is why you have so much contradictions and doublets in the story. It's like if you look in Genesis, you see Abraham is the reason why Beersheba was given the name Beersheba. Then later on, you have the same story told for Isaac, and Isaac is the reason why Beersheba is given the name. So you have a different writer at a different time writing a different tradition, and then later on, you have people pulling all these scattered writings together and never thought about it like, damn, somebody 2,000 years from now going to be evaluating the Bible and find out that this is the same story told twice or three times.
Yeah, that's very interesting, but still, good brother, you keep helping me along my premise, because I'm still the fake Hebrew. You just be forgetting when you be being honest, because you're an honest man, right? But you just help me.
Only when you reach it under the thighs, you're not a Hebrew.
All right, but look, no, you just told me, you just said in everything you said that reaching in the thighs actually don't got nothing to do with you, good brother. That's what you said in so many words, because you simply said the Yahweh only came, which me being a Hebrew, I'm a Yahweh, all that L stuff is over. Now we understand L as a amalgam, another way to say Yahweh. You feel me? And so, with that being said, the Elohist who was doing all this other stuff, putting their hands on the thighs when they wrote that verse, You see here, our only injections into this verse is when we injecting Yahweh into it so people won't be confused. We came back in some of the places put the word Yahweh. First of all, let me go back to my regular self. That's some bullshit. That's what I be talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's the bullshit. You should not be able to do stuff like that with religious texts. Go back and think people ain't gonna understand it, and so you about to write the name of the God that you under at that time on an ancient text in order to, again, superimpose things on the text. But I'm back to my Hebrew right now. I just wanted to say that on some real shit. That's bullshit.
Okay, I want to talk about that the laws against homosexuality really wasn't there originally, and it was added. I want to get into that part. Do you want to get into that?
I don't know much about it, but I could say that. How is that a bad? Are you saying that's a good or a bad thing? You saying that our tradition was homosexual? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we could go into Second Kings under the Yahweh stuff. Let's take a look. You want to take a look in the Bible?
Hold on, I want to say something about saying that. The tradition, look, now there could be, I mean, no matter what tradition let's go into the NFL right now. The football tradition. There's homosexuals in the NFL. Let's go into the baseball. Let's go into hip hop. So let's go into the automotive industry. Some cultural anomalies aren't limited by the nature of the overseeing. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, you would never even know that unless people was coming out saying it with their mouth. You see what I'm saying? And so let's go to Egypt. There's laws in Kemet saying a man shouldn't be with a man. Why would you have to write a law that say that?
Because the niggas was screwing each other.
I mean, you got to teach somebody you're not supposed to be doing something that they tell them. You see what I'm saying?
No. What in the ancient Near East, what was common is homosexuality was fine, but you can't screw your brother or your family member.
All right, I don't want to know about the ancient Near East because I'm a Hebrew. So you trying to say no, I'm not really a Hebrew. See, I'm starting to say that with too much conviction. You feel me? But look. I'm saying, you talking about the ancient Near East. Come on, bro. Let's talk about Hebrew tradition because we went through the ancient Near East killing up all them, what they call in our tradition? Sodomites. Correct?
Sodomites, they didn't die because of that. They died because of gambling and other things. That Sodom and Gomorrah had nothing to do with homosexuality. Read the story. The story will tell you.
But a sodomite got to do with what?
I know. A sodomite has to do with two people having sex.
With sodomy, right?
Sodomy, right, yeah.
Not just having sex, it's having sex a certain way. So that means that that's not necessarily accepted in our tradition how we talk against sodomites, correct?
Well, that's two different things because when you go to 2 Kings, you see 2 Kings 23:7. You could bring it up on the screen. You'll see that you had male prostitutes selling their bodies as men in the temple, your temple.
You said that 2 Kings? Not my temple, really,
Kings.
bro. 2 Kings? I don't like when you making it hard for me. That's what you're trying to do. Like, let's see if you're going to stand by all this deviance, I should say. I'm not standing by it, but I'm just playing a good Hebrew. 2 Kings. And that's a low blow that you're doing that to me. That's cool, though. Oh, I keep putting Kings too. Oh, I need to put the second first. 2 Kings.
2 Kings.
It should just
23:7.
Yeah. There we go. And 43 and 7?
23.
Man, they got me. All right. I need to get there quicker. So I go 2 Kings.
Which version are you bringing up, by the way? Not the King James version.
I won't. Or why? Why not the King James version?
The King James version, it says beside the temple. When it wasn't beside, it was actually in the temple.
But no, we're going to go look at the Hebrew. See?
2 Kings.
And 23 and what?
You spelled Kings wrong.
Oh, I can say second K-I.
Why are you so nervous tonight, my guy? What's
it's
going
second K-I. No, I can't spell. I'll let Google fix everything. Hold on. Second K-I. Come on, let's keep it a buck. You just type anything close up into the Google and it's supposed to fix it. But I'm here. Oh, you don't see it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's because you're watching it on the TV screen. So 23 and what?
7.
Man, it better not say nothing crazy.
Yeah, but I don't want the KJV version though.
Nah, all right, I'm
For
gonna give
the
you another
Hebrew.
version,
Give
but
it,
let's
give it.
Second Kings 23:7, and
Yeah.
he break down the house of the Sodomites that were by the house of the Lord, where the woman wove hanging the groves. Oh, I'm gonna break that down easy. You see, they done made it easy by putting the word grove in there, so I'm gonna beat that up. But hold on, let's go to the version you want. But nah, let's not go to the version you want. Let's go to the
Let's
Hebrew.
keep. Yeah, go to the
And he
Hebrew.
break down the houses of the Sodomites that were by the house. Let's click on this word by. Nah, see, I'm trying to get to the strongs of it. I hate when they do me like that. Here we go. Lexicon, right? That's what I was supposed to click. By. Edra. By force. Give, hear, hearken, hear, perceive, by the ear. Seems to me it was by the house. Hold on. You just gonna go to the New International Version with the bad translation that say in the house, huh? Hold on, this ain't doing this right. I'm sorry, Garfield, because look, it's pulling up the by that's inside of Babylon. They shouldn't be doing that. And so I think what they're doing, I'm sorry, I didn't do this right. This is force. This is azan. We looking for the one that's just by. Here it is. This one is this one. Azel. Strong 681. It should be by, right? In the sense of joining. They ain't just gonna give it up as bow, but you are right. It ain't just saying by, like it's in the sense of joining. I don't know if you're right. So what you saying? They was in the temple. Mm-hmm. Give me a breakdown on that real quick. Hold on, I gotta honestly, I gotta run and go do something.
Let me do this.
Yeah. Hold on, give me a second.
Let me clear my screen of the Yarek oath.
Yeah, and build real quick while I go do this. But y'all see right now, I'm the best Hebrew in the conscious community right now. Am I not? It might. I don't know if I'm putting hands on Zion because I can't read Hebrew as good as Zion. But my analogy in keeping with the truth and giving some of it up to analogy is helping me stand in these debates a little bit longer than some cats who be trying to say everything was real. But I'll be right back.
Yeah, when you say everything is real, it puts you in a serious box. Because a lot of people use different strategies. You have some that claim DNA. I don't know why a person who claims Hebrew would want to use DNA and E markers, and it's just crazy. Hold on, my computer is moving so slow. Well, you know what? Let me do this then. Does anyone have a question while I'm actually here? I'm here trying to watch my game at the same time. Oh, man. All right, here we go. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Where y'all at? All right, hold on. Let me look at.
You about to get hands put on. I just had to use it because y'all see I'm drinking 30,000 waters. But in there, I thought about this, bruh. What you gonna do when I tell you that Abram actually translates back to Egyptian term? Abraham, what you gonna do when I translate Abraham in Egyptian and say Ab being the heart, not the father? Ab being the heart, Ra being Ra. Oh, don't get me started because I'm gonna be extra pseudo if I do that.
Actually, there's a writer by the name of, I'm not even gonna mention this because I don't know who's listening. That did. We talk about this often.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't gonna say that.
Because people gonna be trying to take some of my arguments and making it their real argument.
Yeah. Crazy.
But I'm having fun, man. This is fun, and I'm glad you tapped in. Where's Sean go? He gone?
Sean is scared. He always scared, man. He always be running.
I done got him up out of here because he's scared. He's scared he gonna misrepresent Kimmy. See, he mad. He like, damn, I came up in there and got Ujahu threw under the bus. Now he gonna be mad at you. Be like, dude, when Magi, he gonna tell you soft in a nice voice. Hey, when Magi setting up them spider webs like that, man, don't just hop in them. I can hear Ujahu. No, don't just hop in them, man. You gonna get caught up in the web. Trust me, bro. You Magi archers.
Yes.
Because, I mean, Garfield, the author right here, really ain't even made me not want to be a Hebrew no more. I'm still feeling fine. Look, let me say something. If this was our debate, I'd be getting a lot of props after the debate, bruh.
Hey, it is what it is.
Nah, I'm just talking. Hey, but look, I'm just keeping it above. Hey, but one real thing, the only thing you kind of did was made me feel kind of bad about the traditions. And if they do that to y'all Hebrews, y'all just got to be willing to relent on some things. You know what I'm saying? You can't be trying to held fast to some stuff people wrote 3,000 years ago, and they talk about putting hands on thighs. Hey, you got me. But what that do? You feel me? I ain't got nothing to do with that. That ain't had nothing to do. That was them Eloists.
That's your tradition. You're a Hebrew.
That was them Eloists.
You can't run from it.
All right, that's cool. I'm glad I repped for them for a minute, and I'm glad you came and, held it down and entertained it. Just for all the people, this was just a learning lesson in multiple things. One, it was a learning lesson on how two brothers with opposite viewpoints could dialogue without getting all, you ain't heard us cuss, scream, fight, you feel me? We was banging what we was banging, but you didn't hear too much emotion, you feel me? And not because I don't believe what I was saying. I do got some conviction behind what I stand, but I'm not theological. I ain't theological, so you might hear me talk about things of theology, but I really ain't under that tradition. I would just be able to serve them well if I was. But
yeah, for real.
Yeah, and a lot of the things we talked about Norman, we could write, anybody with good enough knowledge of Medu Netra could smack everything I'm saying right out the park and be like, what? Look at this, look at this, look at this. I just was simply mounting some arguments better than ones I've heard mounted by Hebrews in the community, and with no disrespect, because we have got some very good arguments, but and it's only because those two traditions are tied by the hip, being a Kimite and being a Hebrew. It's kind of tied by the hip by their tradition, and so it kind of makes it like we just be having to bang those certain things out, but. It was a pleasure and an honor for me to, I'm on some YouTube shit, but I'm keeping it a buck. It is a pleasure and an honor for you to come through and let me build with you after you put out that mighty work. Now they see we just building and doing our things. How you grind your axe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's just how you get ready.
Mm-hmm.
And keep it a buck. I ain't even read nothing. Come on, man. This is just a showpiece for YouTube. It's my Torah, and it's in Hebrew. It's really a learning tool, and I would use it more than. What it is it has a lot of commentary. So I wasn't gonna read none of the Hebrew. I was gonna try to hurry up the speed, read the commentary on the Passover to see if I could form a response to you asking me why did we lose our tradition. But I wasn't well versed enough to do that, you know what I'm saying, just so fast. So why did they forget?
Why did
why did they forget when the Passover was?
Because it wasn't a tradition. It wasn't a yearly tradition at that time as far as what they were supposed to be doing. It wasn't like how we see it in the Bible today, in other words.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. There's no Torah at that time for them to say, "Hey, let's do this at that time." There's always the tradition in Canaanite culture. It's just like in the Bible, right? If you look at a Hebrew calendar right now, and you see the calendar, the 12 months or the 13 months, you see Adar 1, Adar 2, or whatever, Nisan and all this stuff. But in the Bible, you see months of the Bible, the calendar in the Bible. There's 4 months. But those 4 months are actually Canaanite words, and you don't see the same thing. After the exile, everything changed. They adapted a Babylonian calendar. They made up Yom Kippur and Sukkot and changed them up and mixed them with Babylonian traditions. And you know what I'm saying? So a lot of things changed after the exile. It was a Canaanite culture. And then you had people who just basically started worshiping Yahweh more than other gods. And that's it. Yahweh was just the main God. And then when you have a writer who believes in Yahweh, he gonna make Yahweh the main God.
Hey,
You know,
yeah, I like to thank everybody for supporting, especially my moderators, because I'm like I ain't gave them no links to tell them how to support and do all that. They just doing good, and I appreciate that. Like, I don't know if the moderators if people be hitting their moderators like, make sure you share my cash app. Nah, but I see the cat. It's got me smiling like, ooh, Kaba been had my back since back in the day. That's why I had to give her that tool, though. You feel me? Straight up. Yeah, so look, make sure y'all tune into the Dagger Squad too. Make sure y'all support my man Book. You know what I'm saying? Follow the Dagger Squad. He probably got, it is what it is. You probably already follow him, but make sure you do what it do. I want to keep it popping, but I'll probably come back with another stream after this, only because I kind of like, I didn't even put no topic. What did I say the topic of this was? It wasn't about the Bible. It was Sunday school Bible study, some shit, huh? I don't know, but in order to just take me a break, I'm about to go back and come back live, see if we're going to get the squad together or something. But yeah, thanks for building, and thanks y'all for watching. The Garfield, they asking for the name of your book one more time.
Misconceptions and Misinformation by the Black Hebrew Israelites, Volume 1.
It's available on Amazon right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
So y'all could get that and support that. And I done ran to the bathroom 4 times in this video. Now I'm about to go take me a little break and go kick it with my family for a minute. Probably look at the TV screen for a minute. But we coming back again tonight, building some more on all new topics. So tune in. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm up out of here.
Peace, bro.
All right, peace. I'm gonna end y'all with that one good song for y'all. Let me see.
Black people, I love you, and I love you enough to tell you, you ain't ready to revolt shit. You don't feed yourself, you don't hunt your own animals and slaughter them, you don't prepare your own meat, you don't own your own land, you don't have a seed in your window. So when you think about revolutionaryism, you think about fighting and dying in the street, you ain't shit.
The mic said black people ain't ready to revolt. It's a disparaging marriage and he ready to elope. Maritime coastline, deep V hull boat. Crack a nose turned up, machete to your throat. The divine snatched the arm back, she fine, she in Zinga. Moroccan mercenary got a line on Moringa. Ask Chief X to swing it. Go fund me to rock a new car. I'll build a school like I'm Dr. Umar. Nah, go fund some more guns, banana clips and cannabis, and bury it, the jackal, Anubis. I'm cool, keep them heaters, and I'm in tie in an abyss. He ain't rapping due to libations, he just channeling this.
I just be pulling out old songs. Shout out to Chief X, I gave you a shout in this song. Who else? Shout out to Umar. Not out, no shout out. I was making fun of Umar. That's what it is.
I'm on life, hovercraft propellers over swamp water. We make the thoughtful think they should've thought harder. Be aware of this, don't blink, there's only one blunt between the careful and careless. It's hard to face it when you need a shrink or a therapist. Mental disorder ordered them to label you a terrorist. I breathe elements and I found the secret. We could all walk on water if it's ground beneath it. I carry my weapon and keep my trees, and still be hotep and ask to reek Nasheed. 6 in the morning I greet my seed, then do everything I think I need.
I have to say this because I know our spirit and our emotions get stirred. I'm not against nobody on the panel.